And we're live here at the station of decapitation without your head. I'm Nasty Neil.
And this is Annabelle Lecter.
And I'm Bill Lustig.
Yeah, it's very good to have you back. Last time we were just audio and we had you, and it was full of technical difficulties. So today it will be much better.
Good.
Yes. So coming up, we talked a little bit off air, Brooklyn Horror Film Festival. You're going to be there. They're going to show Maniac Cop, and you're going to be receiving the Leviathan Award, which is very cool.
I wonder how they came up with that.
The name?
Yeah, the Leviathan.
It is interesting, especially it's the first one.
I guess it's like giant monster. So maybe the giant monster achiever of horror, perhaps.
Okay.
He'll accept it.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So it's the first time they're doing it, and it's dedicated to horror's most impactful trailblazer. And I can't just ask how that feels. Obviously, it feels great. But the idea that your films have been celebrated like later in your career.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing that these films have held up this long. But I've often said the B movies are what are sustainable. And, all the so-called prestigious films, no one gives a shit. Does anybody really care? Look, there were two movies released in May of 80. There was Friday the 13th and Ordinary People. Now, has anybody asked for an Ordinary People or two?
Cast reunion of Ordinary People.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very funny you say it because I mentioned on the show, like, I like to go back and watch old Siskel and Eberts because I grew up with them. And I'll be watching them and it'll be stuff like Ordinary People. And I was like, oh, yeah, like I vaguely remember that. And there'll be stuff that was up for awards that I like have no memory of whatsoever. But, all these weird horror movies that I grew up with, Basket Case, Maniac, Maniac Cop, like, they're beloved today still.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the way it is. It's like, we watch Frankenstein, Dracula, we watch all the Universal things, we watch Hammer. That's what you want to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to watch those prestigious, those prestigious things. We don't want to watch, Howard's End.
Yeah, you're picking
some of that stuff sometimes, but it's not like if I watch horror, it's exciting. It's exciting or funny, or it's like pushing my buttons emotionally in ways that those films don't. Like intellectually, I'm like, this is a very interesting movie, and oh yes, it's excellent acting in the drama, and I might feel about it, but it's too reality. Like I have enough reality, right? I have plenty of reality. I kind of want to go over here to Crazy Town, to get away from that, and that's really.
I also think the genre films from my period, Frank Heneletter and Tobe Hooper, these were made on film. They have a kind of a vinyl feel to them. There's a warmth to the movies. Don't ask me how to explain it, but I feel it when I see it. Yeah. Versus when you go out to watch many contemporary horror films, they feel so slick and so CGI'd and all of that you're out of the movie.
Yeah.
You don't feel, there's no texture to it. Now, there's some great horror films I've seen in recent years, but there's something about that period. Oh, shit.
Can you mute him? So
I
was like...
It was Frank Henenlotter. He's like, thanks for mentioning me on the show here. But yeah.
Exactly.
But there's also I know Maniac Cop, some of it's filmed in L.A., but there's something about that era, especially New York movies. I think they have like this real gritty, slimy feel.
It's true.
Yeah, which is a positive.
It does add texture.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, when you said that, like, you like some new stuff, so when you're at a festival, do you also like to, watch, like, some new horror stuff, see what people are making today?
Absolutely. I watch everything. And I do see gems. I mean, I don't know if you'd call it a horror, but I thought Sisu was amazing.
Oh yeah, it's a great movie.
I don't know if you would call that horror or not. I also loved. I really thought. What's the name of that movie? Oh, it's a woman. It's a girl's name. The one that came out early this year.
What happens?
No,
Megan?
girl, Megan.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We liked it too.
That
Yeah.
was a lot of fun.
I
think
thought
that
it
was
was,
written.
you got a lot of crap from people, but I thought it was great. I laughed. The audience laughed. It was creepy.
Yeah.
It was not a perfect movie, but come on, it was a fun movie.
Yeah, well, I
That's
mean, the
perfect.
movies I grew up
Who
loving
wants-
aren't perfect movies either. So.
Who wants movies that are perfect?
Yeah.
You know, it's a fun movie, and that's all I care about. I also liked last year Black Phone. I
Oh
just
yeah, I love
watched 4K of that.
We were just talking about how there's like that universe is expanding with VHS 85, so that's
Yeah, it's interesting. One of the shorts in the new VHS movie takes place in the same universe as Black Phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also got a text right before this. Apparently, we're going to have the actress who plays the young girl in Black Phone on our upcoming show because she has a new short that's out. So that's very cool.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
What are
She
you
was
guys
amazing in it.
excited to see at the Brooklyn Horror Film Festival? Is
geez.
this airing before or after?
Yeah, we're live right now. So
Now.
Oh,
in the moment.
are we on like
Here.
YouTube or something?
I want to see Blackout by Larry Fessenden.
Yes.
Right, I have that. I'll see you at the screening.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
we like
we're
Larry
doing
anyway.
I love the shorts blocks because it's dense. There's so much stuff. And we're only staying for so long. So it's like kind of like how do we get to see as much as possible?
Right.
So yes, features, but for me it's like you have so many opportunities in a shorts block to see something you're going to enjoy.
Yeah,
Really?
and if you don't like it, you know it's short. So the next something else is coming up.
If I was there all week, it would be a different story. And we are seeing feature length ones, but
Oh yeah.
what are some of the names of the feature lengths we're gonna check out? I know that one.
Well, Blackout. I mentioned Red Rooms.
Yeah, I'm going to be there for that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're reserving us tickets for this movie called Maniac Cop. I've seen it a few times, so we'll check that one out. Yeah, this movie called Booger does sound very interesting too. I have to say, the name Booger catches. I don't know if I want to see a movie about a booger, but the name does like it. I see it, and it's like I don't know about this. I probably need to check it out.
Well, I have to say the Maniac Cop screening is my own personal DCP. Unfortunately, it's HD 1080p. I would have loved to have shown it in 4K, but I don't have a 4K of it. And for the first time, for people who've been watching it on the Synapse, Blu-ray, and DVD, you'll see it the way it was intended, because the Synapse transfer looks like Law and Order, but the film was shot to look dark.
Yeah.
And so that's the primary thing I did with this DCP, as well as some wire removal things.
Excellent.
But yeah.
Cool.
Well, why does that happen? Why do they brighten? Like, whose decision is that to like we're going to brighten this movie up for this release?
Well, often in the case of Maniac Cop, I'm going to presume that the people at Synapse did not supervise it. They did not supervise it, and they left it to the operator at the lab who did the transfer. And often these guys, to protect themselves, no one complains when you deliver for television or for any of these places that the film is too bright. They always complain if it's too dark. So these guys always make it brighter than if the director was sitting there or the DP was sitting there and was supervising the color correction. So that's really the reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mentioned a couple times we went to a theater, which I saw you at, Coolidge Corner Theater. Cool. So we go there, midnight movies sometimes, and we saw a really bad print of Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which added to the movie. And then we saw the restored version at the same theater, and it was so bright. It looked pristine, but it actually, I think, really took away from the movie.
Away a lot.
You talking about Maniac Cop?
No, Texas Chainsaw
Oh,
Massacre.
Texas.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is an example of what a difference it is from what it
Yeah.
was, and then they're like, "We'll make it better." Brighter isn't better.
No,
That's supposed to be dark
listen,
and
the
creepy.
horror is in the shadows.
Yes, absolutely agree. Definitely.
But I didn't want to talk over you, but that was a really cool time to go see you at Coolidge, and
Yeah.
they put you in like their Hall of Fame kind of thing.
Oh God, I if I remember correctly, it was bone-chilling cold.
It was very cool.
Oh, was it bone-chilling cold over there? Oh, it was torture. And then they have this little alleyway that you go out to the back.
Yes.
And then for me, as a guest, I had to cross the main street there. I think it's called Brookline or something.
Yeah.
To the hotel, the courtyard there, and it was so cold. Oh, I thought I was going to die. How can you guys handle it? I don't know.
Yeah, as I get older, it's not great being in New England. But here's a photo of me and Bill here.
Aw, look at that.
Oh man,
I love that little award. It's
I
so
like that shirt you're wearing.
Yes, you liked it at the time too, and I was like, whoops. I like to be very conspicuous, I said. But
Cool.
there was another photo I did bring up because I did want to ask you at some point in the interview, what's the story with this Maniac Driver poster?
This guy made a movie, Maniac Driver, made the poster, and he put it up on I think Facebook or Twitter, one of those things. And I wrote him back. I said, "Great poster." I said, "I'm very honored." And he then communicated with me, and we went back and forth. And he's a very nice man, very nice man.
Yeah, it's very cool. So, where do you have the Coolidge Corner trophy?
It's actually in my dining room.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
So soon you'll have the Leviathan Award to be next.
Yeah, I got a bunch of trophies in awards on my not trophies, awards.
Yeah.
In my living room.
Mm-hmm. That's very cool. So, Maniac and Maniac Cop. It seems like people gravitate more to Maniac Cop, I think, in recent years.
I don't know. I mean, there was a big remake of Maniac, done by Alex Aja.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she would pick up. Oh, she did before. My girlfriend, I told her I'm on a podcast. Anyway, yeah. So Maniac, I don't know. It plays as much as Maniac Cop. You know what's so funny? You know what film I screened? Maniac Cop 3 in New York in June. And yeah, there's a bunch of stuff I don't like about it. But by and large, the audience loved it. And
people talk about that as that their favorite one of the trilogy.
Who's that?
I see it online a lot. That's like considered by a lot of people the best one of the three.
Well, I mean, the first reel is torture, but after that, it really does work. And I was watching it, and I said, "Boy, I mean, it's funny when you have a negative feeling about one of your films, and you see it like 20 years later, and it's like, not bad."
What was your negative feeling about your film?
Well, firstly, we had an incomplete script when we shot it, and it was because the financier distributor on the picture was counting on a pre-sale to Japan. And the script was written with the lead detective being a black man. And the movie was to take place in New York City's Harlem. And the Japanese would not sign on to put their portion of the financing in unless the hero was changed to a white guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, it's it was a problem. So now we have a script. Larry Cohen's position, probably rightfully so, was, hey, you want me to rewrite the script? Pay me again to write a new script because I can't put a square peg in a round hole. Yeah. Well, that wasn't in the cards. So we had to go out and kind of make up scenes to some degree as we went along. We had about 70 pages or 75 pages of shootable script, and but it wasn't enough for a feature film, and we had to make stuff up. And eventually, I just got tired of it, and the producer, who I'm friends with, Joel Soisson, he took over and basically padded the first 15 minutes of the film. Essentially padded that.
Wow.
So,
That's
being
amazing. I mean, I'm just thinking about that's really intense. What did that feel like to you at that time? It was this very specific thing. And
well, it was disappointing, but I had come to the point where I kind of threw up my hands and said, what can I do? I mean, this is crazy. I'm in crazy town, and I just, I was disappointed. And then they used this guy to do the music, so it had no connection to the earlier films. It was like making a Friday the 13th and not having Harry Manfredini do the score. It had the movie had no connection to the other films. So I looked at it always as kind of being an orphan. And that was it. But as I said, I think there's some good things in the picture.
I would think. Do you think some of that is also just like your memories of when it's early on, when the movie's out, your memories of the bad things behind the scenes, the production, affects how you see the movie?
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. But, are you guys going to go see Exorcist?
Yeah, we're going to see that Sunday. We haven't seen the new Saw either, so we're going to go see Saw X
nice.
this Sunday. Yeah.
Double feature.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that you are going to see it as well?
Yeah, I'm going to see it the end of the month. They're showing that and Saw at the DGA for Halloween. So I'm going to go there to watch the double feature.
You should come out to Boston for the 12-hour horror movie marathon at Coolidge.
Oh, do you know what they're showing?
A lot. They do. So they've been doing it for like 20 years. And Mark probably Mark and the other people that do it. They'll have like a theme. So this year's theme is witches. So they announced like 2 of the movies. So it's Rosemary's Baby and Suspiria.
They announced 3 this time. Yeah, Suspiria, Rosemary's Baby, and Blair Witch.
And so they show those feature ones, and then everything else is a mystery.
I wonder if there's like Daughters of Darkness.
We were trying to figure. We were trying to figure out.
They're not really. It's kind of witch-like, but
Yeah, and that's some of the things are very borderline. Like last year, was it vampires last year?
Yeah, because Mark has a thing where which Mark, he was at Coolidge. He has a thing where he considers The Descent a vampire movie. If you like strip out the supernatural elements of a vampire, which I think is interesting. I don't really consider it a vampire movie, but I still thought it was an interesting take on the movie.
And it's a great movie. So
yeah,
but it's fun. I haven't seen that in a long time.
And it was great to watch. All movies are better to watch on the big screen, but it was really cool to see it again on the big screen.
Yeah.
My prayer is that Hocus Pocus is not going to be part of this lineup.
Oh my
God! Love Hocus Pocus over there. They're like. We were waiting outside for a horror movie. There's this giant line. You know what I'm talking about, the alley that goes around. Giant forever line. And we're so excited for whatever the hell.
I don't want to tell them what the movie was. I know what movie it was.
Was not.
It was, we were all excited. We're like, this is giant line to see Maniac in 35 millimeter. We were like, oh, wow, this is awesome. And then they were like, who's in line to see Maniac? Come on up. And the rest of the people stood in line for Hocus Pocus. And I was like,
oh.
So there were people at Maniac, but it was not Hocus Pocus.
It hurts even now.
I hate to bring up that, but we were excited to see it. Yeah.
I loved it. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fun time. It's a very fun time. And it's like a challenge to get through the midnight to noon of this 12-hour movie marathon. So highly recommend. It's every year.
I've been to some movie marathons as a guest, and people have sleeping bags and pizza boxes. And
I bring
restaurants stay open next to Coolidge. I wonder if
it's cool. They have the local pizza place and the burrito place have food at night, and that eventually runs out. And then usually in the morning, the crepe place next door comes in and makes crepes in the lobby.
This year was
Wow,
like
how
even worse,
fancy.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's great. It's really cool.
Yeah,
And there's a
good time.
costume contest, and it's fantastic, and they give out prizes. It's very funny. It's
Oh,
just
wow.
it's a really great time. It's like all these people in the community that love horror movies come out, and
Well, send my love to them and enjoy it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Also, before I do forget about Brooklyn, we won't be here for the screening, but we've seen the movie, and Where the Devil Roam, I think is one of the best horror movies I saw this year, and that'll play later in the week. At
Yeah, I
Brooklyn
got
Horror.
tickets for that.
Yeah.
It's great. I'm a big fan of. We're both the
Yeah.
Addams family who makes them. They're like it's like a whole family. It's the mother and the
never heard of
father
them
and
before.
their daughter. Yeah, I really
great.
like all three of their features. So.
Genuinely talented. It's really good. But
I
so
don't know,
Brooklyn Horror Film
their
Festival.
earlier films.
Oh yeah.
Where can I see their earlier films?
Can you see
I'll look that up.
it?
I think
You're not,
I actually
but
think it might be on Tubi, but I'm not sure.
everything's on Tubi.
It's the deeper you dig. I'll look it up quick.
And Hell thing.
Hellraiser, not Hellraiser.
Hellblazer? No. Oh, it's
Hellbender.
Hellbender.
Deeper
Yeah.
Your Dig is on Amazon Prime.
Oh, it is? Okay.
And let me see.
And Hellbender was
Hellbender's
great. That was the first one I saw. They made it during COVID, so there was like no resources. It's just them during COVID.
My hat's off to them. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see where Hellbender is. It's more new. So I know it was on Shudder for a while. I don't know if it's still there or not.
But you
Yeah, 'cause
yourself,
it was
sir.
one of the new movies they showed on Joe Bob. That was pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So so you're gonna be in there for the week. Where is your home base now? Where are you? You don't like the
Port
cold.
Sullivan. I'm in
You are?
Port
Okay.
Sullivan.
So
Damn.
how often do you get out to New York City?
I'm there 3 times a year,
Mm-hmm.
usually for a week or 2 at a time. My next planned trip after Brooklyn is in June for Tribeca.
Oh yeah.
Although I'm a little bit disappointed of late with some of the
Really?
yeah, they don't do a great job of curating genre films.
Interesting.
I just
That's unfortunate.
but
You go to a film festival.
I
you
see a lot of good genre films there.
Hmm.
They need to bring in someone like yourself to help with that.
New program director.
But also, I tend to think they focus on low-hanging fruit. In other words, movies that are made for Netflix or for Shudder. They're all New York-based companies who lend support to Tribeca, like they do with the Brooklyn Horror Film Festival, and so I think they sort of look within that group for films and not look outside there. Versus when you go to Sitges, it's this tremendous buffet of every genre film from every country. And I was at Sitges last year. I'm disappointed I'm not there this year. And they just show everything. And it's great.
I've never been to Sitges, which
You got to make it a vacation. Seriously. It is just wonderful.
Would that be your number one genre festival?
Yeah, without a doubt. Sitges is number 1.
Wow.
I would say number 2 would be Fantastic Fest.
Mm-hmm.
That just happened. That's in LA, right?
No, that's in Austin.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I was thinking Beyond.
One in LA is Beyond Fest.
Yeah. And Screen Fest. Have you been to Brooklyn Horror Film Festival before?
Last year.
Oh, cool.
I was there as a civilian.
Oh, you just went.
I
appreciate that. Yeah.
I flew in from Sitges to New York, and instead of changing planes to LA, I deboarded, stayed in New York, and said, Brooklyn Horror Film Festival.
Nice.
Let me see some films.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You remember any standouts from last year?
Yes, but it wasn't a new film. It was an older film, and I wish I could remember the name. It was really a very interesting, I think it was French, and it had a kind of a gay theme to it, where there was a serial killer, and he kidnaps this boy who is going out, who's dating this girl, but he's kind of like this, pretty boy, and he rapes him and all kind, and he keeps the girl chained in the basement.
Wow.
Listeners remember the name of the movie. It was very good.
That is very intense. My word.
Very, very good movie.
Dang.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm so curious. It does not ring a bell, but when I imagine in my mind, I'm just like, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be able to look it up. I'll just look on my calendar, and I'll be able to tell you the name, but it was such a good movie.
Cool. I like that they show both, new stuff and like classic, and not just like classic horror stuff, some weird stuff that kind of goes under the radar.
And then I saw that Indonesian movie. I'm so bad with titles sometimes, but it was it was okay. It was just overlong. It was like a 2.5-hour movie that should have been 90 minutes.
Yeah, it's hard to have a horror movie over 90 minutes, I think. I mean, there are ones that work, but usually I think a horror movie's better shorter.
I agree. Yeah. So, what else are you guys going to be doing?
People really, I was trying to hear, there was some questions here in our chat.
Oh, good.
Pepe Potit wants to know, in Maniac Cop, was that a real prison or a set?
The interior of the prison, thank you, Pepe. The interior was a set, and the exterior was real. The exterior was actually Sing Sing prison.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And, the interior was shot in Culver City.
Did you have any issues filming outside the actual prison?
Well, yes. The issue was very simple. We contacted the warden to tell him we wanted to do a flyover with a helicopter, and he gave us these parting words on the phone. He said, "Look, you're welcome to fly over, but if you get below 500 feet, we're shooting you down."
Wow. Well.
So I looked at that. I looked at the meters. I looked at the things on the helicopter.
When I was watching Maniac, I've seen it a bunch of times. I watched it again for the interview. I'm going to see it next week again. But a lot of like big stunts, like when the van goes off the pier, and there's a guy like just flying off there, and how when you're filming that, like I assume it's exhilarating, but it's also like, do you fear like for this guy's life, or what's going through your mind?
All of that. It was funny because when we planned the stunt, my stunt coordinator said, "Okay, I'll do it." He was going to double Bruce Campbell, and he did. He doubled Bruce Campbell, and but as we got closer to it, I sort of got this sneaking suspicion that this was far more complicated than any of us ever imagined, because the van, the truck, could not have an engine in it, so it had to be power driven by a car off screen and brought up to a certain speed for it to kind of go on its own propulsion.
Wow.
So the car stops before it enters frame, and then the truck at that point needs to be at a certain speed.
It's crazy.
There was no way from outside the car for Spiro to brake it. The only thing he could do was steer. Now, in order to fly the car up in the air like it did, he had to go on what's called a pipe ramp. A pipe ramp is about this wide. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I can't parallel park. And he had to drive from the outside and put one of the front driver's side wheel on that pipe, of course, lining it up with the back wheel. And then the truck would go up in the air, and it would flip because there was a kicker at the end of the pipe ramp to make it
Wow.
flip. And he had to get off the truck at a certain point so that he separates himself from the truck and the truck doesn't just come falling on him. Even
Wow.
though you watch the movie, because of the camera angle, it looks like it's coming near him.
Crazy.
Yeah.
He actually was safe distance away.
Wow, that's so
And it was
amazing.
very, so getting ready for this, I noticed there was a lot of unpaid stunt guys hanging around the set, helping Spiro with the stunt. Then I noticed a little bit later, a Greek Orthodox priest come to Spiro's room. I mean, this was like, holy shit, what did I put this guy in? In the meantime, I'm standing with Bruce Campbell safely, watching all of this going on. And Spiro, and originally Bruce said I could do that. And anyway, as he's watching, he goes, "Oh, this is ridiculous. You're going to kill this guy. You're gonna kill this." You know, we get what a Greek Orthodox priest looks like with the robe and everything. And he's in there talking to him, giving him his prayers and shit.
Get his last rights.
And so it was quite an event. And it got to the point, like, before it happened, I was shitting a brick. And plus, we only had one take.
Yeah, right.
Keep in mind, if he had missed the tire on that pipe ramp, he would have either been crushed
Kept
between
going.
the truck and the pipe ramp, or the truck would have like stopped on the pipe ramp. It would have just beached on the pipe ramp. It was like the most dangerous fucking thing in the world. Now, here's the funny
Committed
part.
man.
Spiro is the guy who does the Fast and Furious movies.
Oh.
And he says, nothing we do equals the danger that we did back in the days when we were doing Maniac Cop 1, 2, and 3.
Amazing. Fond memories of near death.
Yeah.
I wonder how
Fast and Furious, they give me unlimited amounts of money
Mhm.
to wreck stuff. He says it's a different ballgame.
Yeah. I wonder how someone even comes up with that whole plan, like the whole thought process between like a car is going to push it, and then you know, I guess that's the
Well,
that's what he does.
Man.
We say, look, Bruce jumps on the side of the truck. So he's fighting the monster, from outside the truck. So what do you want to do? They're at a pier. So you want the truck to go off into the pier. But then Spiro adds, well, wouldn't it be great if the truck went airborne, like as though it's going over some trash or boxes, and it goes airborne instead of just going into the pier. It goes airborne, and we go, wow, that's spectacular. And he talked himself into it. Yeah,
And,
I miss those days. We had a lot of laughs and fun.
watching it too, it's like Bruce is really hanging off the side of the van up until
He was safe.
Okay.
He was safe. He wasn't.
Don't give him too much credit. All right.
Yeah, I don't even think he did the crash through the wall. I think that was a stunt double.
Oh, okay.
When the truck crashes through the warehouse wall,
Mhm.
it was yeah, but it was fun.
Yeah, you
Do
mentioned having a lot of fun on it, and there's other people that we interviewed that are, like Neil mentioned before, that are specifically people who are filmed in New York around a certain era of time, and that it is so like you're just figuring it out as you go. It's like moment to moment, trying to like be creative, like problem solving and all of this.
Absolutely.
And they love it, and they are happier with that experience than with these, like you mentioned, the shiny.
Tom Savini said, when we had Tom Savini on, he said that was his favorite era of movie making because there wasn't a set way of doing all these things. Like you had to come up with like these ideas on how to do it.
I mean, we did all kinds of stuff. We would be, we'd be arrested today. I mean, we were never supposed to shoot a Maniac. I'm referring to shoot on a subway train. We put a camera on there. We put the actress in the subway train, and we had somebody who's from the subway authority who was supervising us. But I also had with us a Gold Shield detective, Randy Jurgensen, who guys in law enforcement and stuff they really look up to because he did the French Connection. And so what happened is when we were moving from the area where she puts the money in the token and starts to go towards the stairs and all that, he took the guy out for dinner and drinks. And that's when we swooped down and did all those shots in an area we were forbidden to be in.
Amazing.
I love it. Had you ever, well, that's a great example of, finding a way to do it, but did you ever have to talk your way out of something, like if you got caught doing somewhere you weren't supposed to be?
I know we did. When that was, I'm trying to think of Maniac. I'm trying to think. I mean, we were always talking our way out of stuff. I mean, that was like a daily occurrence. I will tell you, I worked on a film as a production manager called The Rip-Off. It went under different names. It was a Lee Van Cleef heist movie that they shot in part in New York. And there's a moment in the movie, which is the climax of a car chase, where Lee Van Cleef is being chased by these bad guys, and his car is supposed to narrowly go in front of a moving train, and the bad guys come around a corner and they can't stop in time and they broadside the train and their car explodes. Anyway, how we're going to do this? We're at this train yard, and we're informed that we needed an insurance policy from Lloyd's of London, and there was no way to be able to get it on time for the date scheduled for the shoot. There was just no way. There was no DHL, FedEx. All there was telexes back then. So the guy who ran the train yard was this very, very nice man, and unfortunately very trusting. So I had to tell him that the policy was en route and we were going to shoot. Okay? Comes time to shoot. Making the story short. I'm standing on the side where the car was going to come from. I'm standing on the side off camera where the car comes from. And I'm standing and I'm watching as the car, driven by Lee Van Cleef, by the way, because they wanted his face, they put the camera on the front hood, looking at him, and on the side, so you see the train coming towards the car. But it was all, planned that at a certain point he would accelerate and he would get out of the way of the train. Okay? Well, action. The train comes. Lee Van Cleef is supposed to accelerate, and we hear bang. I turn around and I remember looking into the woods that was there, going, I just killed Lee Van Cleef and we have no insurance. It turned out we didn't, of course. But it was like that kind of stuff that you would do. And no insurance. It was like so insane. It was so insane.
In the moment.
When you're young, you have nothing to lose. I might have been, at the time, I think I was 21 years old at the time.
Wow.
Oh, wow. So,
yeah, when we were doing that.
Yeah, you were a kid.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but you do things that you never would do as an adult. I mean, I was 24 when I made Maniac.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so,
do you miss directing? Do you miss directing movies?
Oh, very much. Yeah, it was fun. But I miss, I guess, that period.
Yeah.
I have a big nostalgia for that period. It was tough. I can't believe how many problems we solved. It was a great experience, and I miss it. I miss it. When I went to do Maniac Cop 3, it was very corporate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, lots of memos and things. Just too corporate for me.
Is that what led to you, not wanting to direct again? Or?
Well, there wasn't. I didn't have the enthusiasm. I didn't make as a hobby while I was directing. I was producing Laserdiscs, and so it wasn't like I suddenly decided to quit directing and put out stuff. It was sort of a transition because DVD exploded, and I said, there was money in those hills.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, with the rise of streaming, how is that? Because people still do buy like special editions.
It's exactly right. My customer, you are my customer, are collectors, and so they want all the bonus features. They're very tactile. They want the beautiful covers. They want the booklets. They want all that stuff, making an event out of the movie. Problem I find is there are not a whole lot of movies that are event worthy, but they're doing them anyway.
I have a running joke with my friend Michael, and I won't name the movie, but we always joke that once a so-and-so movie got a special release, we're like, I think does that one really need a release? Maybe they've run out of movies. I don't want to say the movie, but yeah.
Okay. But it was that's the kind of, the customer is very into that. So to answer your question, streaming really makes up a small portion of our revenue. Very small portion. Probably less than 10%.
Wow.
It's still physical media. Mm-hmm. And 4K. Everybody wants 4K.
Right.
So I don't put out anything. I only put out 4K now.
I'm a commentary track. I enjoy commentary tracks. It's like you can watch a movie multiple times. It's a totally different.
Yeah, exactly. But the thing about it is, I think there are many people who don't even watch the movie. They just put it up on their shelf.
Oh, that's very true.
It has really cool artwork on the cover.
Yeah, I think that's what most people probably do with the VHS. When they put out like a special edition VHS, like it's cool to have on your bookshelf. I don't know if you really need to watch it on VHS, or I don't even have a working VCR, so I couldn't.
I just donated mine.
Wow.
Yeah, but I can get another one at Goodwill or Salvation Army any day of the week.
Well, I got 2 VHS players, plus I just refurbished. You ready? My Laserdisc player.
Oh my lord!
Really?
Wow.
I never had a laser.
Wow. How many laser discs do you have?
I would say probably 100.
Dang.
I assume there's probably some stuff that's on Laserdisc that's not available, in other formats.
That's true.
Wow.
Absolutely true.
I would think to go to Laserdisc, you'd have to be pretty good for it to have warranted production.
Well, I would think so.
Yeah. At that time.
The thing about it is, I know that if I play my Laserdiscs, 9 out of 10 will be rotted.
Oh.
So I don't play them. I just pretend they're playable.
It's kind of behind all this stuff at the moment for Halloween, but I have the first VHS tape my mom ever bought me, which is Creep Show, and it's in the clamshell. And so the clamshell looks cool, but actually the tape inside it's broken and rotten away. It doesn't work anymore. But
that's the unfortunate part of these things. Even DVDs, they rot. I'm waiting to hear about 4K, whether that happens. Don't hear it much with Blu-ray. I never really heard of rotten Blu-ray discs. I'm sure it happens, but I've never heard of it.
This is Sam Haines music.
Art. Hi, Sam.
Yes, which Annabelle did the artwork for Sam Haines' new CD. Question: according to Wikipedia, you were involved in Tenebrae and Inferno. How did that happen?
It happened because my producing partner, Andy Garoni, his father had a production service company that when Italian movies came to New York to shoot, he would arrange for the equipment, the supporting crew, all that stuff. And, on some of the bigger projects, I would kind of tag along and help out. So that's how that came about. But the thing about Inferno, that's when I got to meet and became friends with Dario Argento.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So how had you made any films at that point, or you were just like, no? You were young. You were young.
This was, I'll tell you right now, this was, I might have been like 19, 20.
Wow.
Yeah.
What kind of advice did he give you? I don't know. Did you ask him like advice?
Well, firstly, his English at that time was extremely limited. It's still a little bit limited now, but better. Mm-hmm. And we just really bonded, and we sat away from the crew and the set on a park bench in Central Park, and we just sort of, I told him how much I love his movies, and back then people didn't know who he was.
Yeah,
Dario Argento only had celebrity in Italy, maybe France, but it wasn't like it is today in America. He had no celebrity whatsoever. Nobody knew who he was. So the fact that I told him I'd seen all his movies and talking about scenes, and and he told me the scene that we're shooting tonight, where the guy runs out of the food truck across the little pond and goes in with the rats. He had written it in a hotel room, right? And he pointed to the room where he wrote the scene looking out over the park.
Wow.
Yeah, and he just came back he made a comeback to directing. Fright Fest last year, he had a new movie out.
Yeah, Dark Eyes, I think it was called.
Yeah, Dark Eyes.
Yeah. It was Dario Light.
Yeah, I was at the premiere there, but
it was Diet Dario.
Yeah. Would you ever want to become a director again? Would you like to direct something again?
Yeah, I mean, I would. I really do enjoy it. And it would have to be something where I had some control over it.
Yeah.
Not something where I'm a work for hire,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have anything like in mind that you would, you don't have to explain it, but do you have anything like that any scripts that you've written?
Yeah,
or anything
I have scripts that I've acquired. Actually, one in particular that I would love to see get made.
Do you think this, like right now, is a good time because, like you said, your movies are celebrated now at the festivals, and there's also a lot of nostalgia for stuff from the '80s, and would you think like today would be a good time to, like that you would be able to make something?
Can I tell you, it's always a good time to make.
There you go. Yeah,
it's always a good time. There's never a bad time. You make a good horror film, people are going to want to see it. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, like at the theaters, besides the big blockbuster Marvel and stuff, the movies that people go see are horror movies, even independent horror movies.
But I even think the blockbusters are tapering off.
Yeah,
the
last bunch of.
There's only so much. It's like, man, I've walked out of more of them than I think I've sat through.
I don't go to most of them. I just can't. But there is a demographic that loves it, and they're just there. They're just there.
But there are a lot lately that's not been doing. Yeah, like The Flash did really poorly. Even some of the the bigger ones, like you would look and they'll make $300 million. You think, well, that's great, but they cost $500 million. So it's
Yeah, I mean, it's they had their time, and I'm sure they'll come back again. When someone makes a new Iron Man, the way they made Iron Man, it will breathe new life into it. Right now, I kind of feel the scripts are lifeless.
Yeah, and for me, it's hard to because I've liked a lot of the MCU movies, especially the like the original ones. And there's been some I like Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I thought was good, but it's hard to follow because you have to watch all the movies and then you have to watch all the series, which is a real it's
even worse. You got to sit through 10 minutes of end credits to watch.
Yeah, right.
A 5-minute recap.
Yeah, because I went to I forget which one I saw, and I really didn't even understand what was happening because I never watched the Vision TV show. So I was like, well, I don't know exactly who these people are or anything, but it's just it's like almost like a part-time job. You have to watch all this stuff. It's too much to follow.
Yeah, I get it.
So you were talking about it being every time is a good time to make film, which is amazing, especially horror film. And so what? Good, good. Not just anything. It has to be good. So if you've got this stuff out there that you've made, and you like, as far as scripts, what would be the thing that? What are the elements that are holding you back from moving forward on that stuff? Let's
Partial laziness. A little bit of that. I'm a little bit older than I was when I made these movies, and I know what's involved. On the other hand, I go back and forth on it. It's it's the way it is. I go back and forth. Plus, you got to raise a bunch of money.
Yeah.
I'm really not great at going to people asking for money. I used to be wonderful. I mean, I could have been a poster child for beg, borrowing, and stealing. But today, I don't.
You don't want to be the poster adult.
Well, I look a little retarded if I did that.
Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe the way. Do you think the way you raised money previously would that still be viable today, or is just like the game
changed? I think it would be. I think there are enough deep pocket people out there who could underwrite a movie if they were interested.
Wink, wink, audience.
Yeah, I mean, look, I had a deep pocket guy who financed Uncle Sam, and he really undermined the picture.
Oh.
But he had the power as the financier, but he undermined it mainly because he was taking advice, because everybody has advice. For somebody with money, everybody has advice. Instead of listening to the people with experience who are the ones he's involved with, he'll listen to some Hollywood entertainment attorney who only get their information by reading Variety and Hollywood Reporter. They've never gone out there in the cold, hard world. And it's disappointing.
Mm-hmm.
You wish they would give you money and say, look, we trust you, come back. Like what happened to me, Shapiro Glickenhaus, James Glickenhaus and Eddie Shapiro, they gave me the money to make and Larry and I the money to make Maniac Cop, and we never even saw them.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what did they do? What did he do exactly to undermine Uncle Sam?
No, it was just, stupid stuff. Like, they wound up pre-selling foreign rights on the film for 50% of the budget. And it came from some words of wisdom from his attorney that, if you get 50% of the money from foreign, then you can get the other 50% easily from America. Well, it doesn't work that way on a genre film. Probably 80% of the money comes from foreign and less comes from domestic. And if you're going to do domestic, you've got to do something that's going to build it to get the foreign money in.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just, there was it was just like somehow there was like all these rules or these words of wisdom that are total bullshit. But how do you explain that to somebody? They go, gee, if I can go into a movie and before I put out $1, I'm already guaranteed 50% of my money back. Yeah, but you're going to lose the other 50%. And there'll be no profits.
Adrian Esposito, I just want to flash his name because he asked about the story behind Uncle Sam, but you talked about it.
It was a story. It was a story. Behind the story of Uncle Sam, or the story of Uncle Sam.
I know. In another question, he asked, "What is the social commentary behind Uncle Sam?"
Yeah,
so,
it was a Larry Cohen. Why does the social got it? the Larry Cohen wrote the script.
Mm-hmm.
It was something he had pitched me a few years before we actually made it, and the story itself had not really resonated with me. And I said, I don't really know how to make this. I don't know. I really don't. And I don't want to do another Maniac Cop. It was kind of like one of those things. Until I was in Nashville, Tennessee. And I was there during 4th of July. And I saw how important 4th of July was to the people of Nashville. That it was a serious holiday. In New York, where I'm from, you throw a couple of hot dogs on the barbecue, go up on your roof, watch some fireworks, and you forget about it. But for them, it was a very patriotic, militaristic type of holiday that they really, really embraced. And suddenly I started to see something that maybe I can make work. And that was the story behind it.
And I think there's a little bit of a lesson for Uncle Sam, is because every 4th of July people do, share it and talk about it. Instead of making all these Halloween or Christmas movies, find a holiday that doesn't have a whole bunch of horror movies. And like Leprechaun's always shared at St. Patrick's Day. So there's only like one Thanksgiving horror movie.
And I think there's only one Uncle Sam.
Yeah, exactly.
Live movie.
Yeah. So yeah, make an Arbor Day movie, and people will.
Are you giving away your secrets, Neil?
I know, that's the movie I want to
Jeez,
make. Arbor Day.
That one reserved.
So since the last time I had you on, Larry Cohen has passed away.
Yes.
What are memories of Larry Cohen, and did you keep in contact with him over the last several years?
Off and on. Larry was an interesting guy. He was a little bit, it was difficult dealing with him the last few years of his life. Let me put it to you that way. And, but I have a lot of fond memories. Like, for instance, on Maniac Cop, Larry visited the set once. Just keep in mind, although it says it was produced by Larry Cohen, Larry did not produce it. I produced it. It was simply an honorary credit. So we had nothing to do. Once we started, he had nothing to do with the picture. But he did visit the set one day. And there's a scene where Bruce Campbell is escaping from the police station, where there's all the dead bodies of policemen and all that kind of stuff. And he's coming down the stairs and he confronts 2 cops. And he points the gun at them and tells them, I didn't do this, and he runs out the door of the police station. And when he tells the guys to get on the ground, Larry said to me, whispered in my ear, he said, keep the camera rolling a few beats after they're on the ground. I have an idea. And sure enough, the idea was he and I, a month later, are in a recording studio, and Larry says, hey, are we going after them? And then I say, you heard him. He didn't do it. And it got big laughs with the audience. And Larry came up with that right on the spot.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool.
Amazing.
There's been talks for a Maniac Cop remake. Like, I don't know. I think the whole time I've been doing the show since 2006. So, where is that gone? Is there still talks to do a new one?
Yeah, there's been some legal complications with his estate, and but it looks like, actually, as of today, I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel.
Oh, cool.
So hopefully 2024 will be the Maniac Cop remake. Or
how much how much involvement with that will you have?
I'm not really sure, to be determined. I know I'll have involvement, but I'm not really sure. Nick is his own man. And, I don't think you need to have more than one chef in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And, he and I have butted heads, friendly, but we've butted heads over the years creatively.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, over some of his recent TV series and movies. And, but it should be interesting, and it'll be fun to see it reinvented.
Yeah. Yeah. And what did you think of the Maniac remake? Did you see it?
Yeah, of course I did.
Come on now.
What I thought of it was, I know that it was Alex Aja who put the POV thing in the script, that we would see it through the eyes of the killer. But when they hired Elijah Wood, I wish they had gotten rid of that so we could see more of Elijah. Because he's such a great actor.
Yes.
He was there the entire time. Why not show as much of him as possible? That was my number one issue. And my number two, why did they shoot it in L.A.? Everywhere you put the camera in L.A., it looks like you could eat off the sidewalks. You know, it belongs in dirty New York. But that was a decision. It was not my decision. And I'm thankful they made it. And I think there's a lot of positives in it.
Yeah, I actually like it, but I think both those are valid criticisms of the movie. Because, like I said earlier, I've got a thing for like the gritty New York era movies. So to take it out of there is, and like you said, once you have Elijah Wood, that's like an A-list actor. Which I always respect about him. He could be making like A-list movies, whatever, but he makes a lot of strange movies, and I like that about him.
Yeah. But I think Alex Aja is really terrific. I love that movie he made with the alligator.
Is it Crawl or
Crawl? Yeah, it's called Crawl.
Yeah, and the guys who wrote that are people I know from Boston Underground Film Festival. They're two brothers, the Rasmussen brothers, and it's pretty cool because I saw them at a festival for years, and then they wrote a big theatrical movie.
Huh. What are they writing now? Do you know?
No, but I know that I believe they put out something since then. I know they're still. They didn't unfriend me on Facebook. They didn't get too big, so they're still there. I have to look them up. But yeah, but it was cool because I also saw a lot of people were happy for him, and sometimes you think, these local people at the festival, they'd be jealous of someone having success. But that's the thing I like about the festivals too. Everyone is pretty encouraging of everyone doing well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I agree.
Adrian wants to know, will you see the Toxic Avenger remake?
Of course. Lloyd and Michael are friends of mine. Of course I'm going to see it.
What do you think about looking at it?
Crazy Lloyd. He's the only head of a company that you would see playing a blind man in a men's room, squirting his urine all over the place.
So if you're friends with this guy, can you give us the insider? Is he really this goofy?
Well, no, he actually does have I wouldn't call it serious, but yes, it is a persona that he does. It's the trauma persona. Mm-hmm. Michael is Michael. Michael never really changes, but Lloyd is the face of the company, and he definitely is out there being wacky. But I love Lloyd. I love his brother Charlie, who made Mother's Day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Interesting.
I was trying to look up. By the way, they're from Cambridge, Annabelle, the Rasmussen brothers.
Really?
The guys who made Crawl, yeah. But we love Lloyd Kaufman. We always like to ask about Lloyd to anyone who's worked with him because we get one or two answers. Usually either people really have enjoyed their experience with Lloyd or they're very negative on Lloyd. In my opinion, it really depends on what you think you're going to get out of your time with Trauma. Because I think if you go in, I know people who went into it thinking this is younger people, like this is my film school, and they have great experiences. And then I know people think they were going to not necessarily get rich, but maybe make a lot of money. And I think if you go in with that mindset, you're probably not going to have a good experience.
Yeah, not going to make any money with Lloyd.
Yeah, and I think he's upfront with that, as far as I know. Yeah.
You're not going to make any money.
But he's a great guy. It's the experience.
Yeah. Well, I'm wearing my blood-sucking Freaks hat, and we were friends with Joel Reed, and Joel Reed was not a fan of Lloyd
Well.
Kaufman. So.
I actually just ordered that on.
Oh, really?
4K. I've never seen the movie. You know that? All these
Really?
years, I've never seen it.
What?
I've
Really?
never seen
Yeah.
it I never saw it till I became friends with Annabelle, and she's like, "You have to watch Bloodsucking Freaks," and I was like, "Okay."
Crazy. It's so
Oh,
weird.
waiting for something.
Yeah, no, it's really good. Yeah, it's really crazy. It's I don't think you could take it too seriously.
You cannot take it seriously. It's not possible.
Okay.
No. The two
It's
leads
just
are great
madness.
in it.
There's I can't say that it's a good movie. Like, the plot is ridiculous, but the things that happen in it are just insane.
I've seen
There's personality. There's a personality.
Stills were pretty outrageous.
Oh yeah, it's Human Tables. The two leads are great.
Ralphus and Sardou.
Yeah.
So do you know the premise? It's like Sardou is this New York City underground performance artist, and he performs torture on stage to just everyday people, you know. And so there are all these kind of like what's the movie from the magician guy?
It's
Gray
sort
hair.
of Wizard of Gore. I know there's a little bit of a feud between Joel and Herschel Gordon-Lewis. So,
Really? Because of that?
Yeah.
Well, whatever. They were very, very different.
Yeah, similar,
There's
like
that element
a concept,
here's
but different
the
movie.
show on stage, and there's torture there, and yeah, and he there's this ballet, this amazing ballet dancer, and he wants her in his show, and there's all kinds of nefarious plots to get her, and
Well, I'm looking forward to watching it.
Yeah, and Joel Reed was a great character, really nice guy, a weird guy. Another guy, I think his comedy was from a different era, you know.
I met Joel Reed because we would always run into each other.
Oh yeah.
In New York.
He was very flat. Like, he wasn't a guy that from our time. We spent a lot of time with him that one day, and he was very but he's funny.
Yeah.
You had to listen to his words. You couldn't watch his face to get him. You really had to listen to his words.
Okay.
Yeah, very very funny guy, and I think some people from a more modern era took a lot of his jokes more like serious, and you have to. For me, you had to keep like the mindset like he's a guy from another era, so his jokes are not necessarily appropriate today. And
yeah,
but you know what I'm saying.
I'll watch it. I'll take it for what it is.
Yeah, we enjoy it. So
It's
hopefully
better
like
than the other one.
Which one was that?
I don't remember the name of the other one that is known. There's another film he did. I can't recall the name of it. But if you saw the other one, it's better than.
Yeah, we went to see him at his place. Very very interesting character. Is the funny guy.
Yeah.
And I remember he had stacks of DVDs that fans had sent him, and he was just like, take some of these. I'm not going to watch this stuff. And I still have some, and some of they're written on it like to Joel, and like, you know, it's like a fan of his, like, sent him this DVD, and he just like, I don't want this. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but it was very funny to me.
Like, I'm not going to keep every card everybody in my life has ever given me. So
it's very funny to me.
And now here you go. Enjoy this.
Yeah.
Yeah, Neil making him sound like a bum.
No, it was funny to me. It makes him more endearing to me. So, yeah. Oh, Adrian Esposito in the chat. He actually made a documentary about Joel Reed.
Oh,
wow.
I didn't realize that was
on. Yeah, I'm in that documentary. I got a cheap plug for myself. Yeah. So, so what's coming out from Blue Underground in the near future?
Well, we just finished Girl from Rio, and unfortunately, it's original because Girl from Rio was kind of a sequel to Million Eyes of Sumeru. We just are starting work on Million Eyes of Sumeru, so we put out the sequel before the original. You know,
it'll be a prequel.
I guess.
You put out the original will become a prequel.
Well, we got that. We have Death Stream that we're working on, the 4K. Oh, God, we have other things. I'm trying to think. Yeah, those are the most imminent.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, High Crime, the Franco Nero Polizia, that was sort of the original. Enzo Castellari directed.
Mm-hmm.
That movie, if you guys haven't seen it.
Yeah,
Are you guys into Italian police films?
I would watch it.
I would watch it too.
recommendation.
Really good. It's the original. You know, there were a lot of police movies made in Italy, but this was the one that broke the floodgates.
How do you spell this?
High crime.
Oh,
No,
you spell- okay.
Yeah.
That one's easy to remember.
Yeah.
I also want to ask about Frank Pesci. Pesci, is that how you say his name?
Oh,
Pesci?
yeah, Pesci.
Yeah, so he was in all your films up until a certain point, and he passed away last year. So, memories of Frank, and how did it end up that he was in all your movies?
Well, I don't know where to start with Frank. We were friends. Our friendship began in, I think it was 1975 or 6. And Frank was a million laughs. A million laughs. I got more stories with Frank. I wouldn't even know where to begin. He was brilliant, insane. I miss him. I miss him and Joe Spinell terribly, because if you saw the two of them together, it was just I would be at a 24-hour diner laughing out loud, falling onto the floor. These guys were hysterical. They were hysterical. I got so many stories. Oh, there's so many Frank Pesh stories. That's worthy of a podcast in and of itself.
All right, we'll save that for the future. Yeah, that's very good. So, want everyone to check out Brooklyn Horror Film Festival next week. There's a lot of cool stuff. Not just Maniac Cop and yourself are going to be there, but that's reason enough to come out. A lot of cool new stuff. So I hope people come out, and we're looking forward to seeing you there.
I'm looking forward to. I really enjoy it, and I love Brooklyn. And for those who are afraid of Brooklyn, it's actually in a very nice section of Williamsburg. So you don't have anything to worry about.
What's our section like? I wonder where our section is, Neil, where we're staying.
Oh, yeah. We're
New Jersey side.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was much cheaper to stay in New Jersey, but we'll probably.
You're staying in New Jersey and traveling to Brooklyn? Are you nuts?
It was actually not much farther distance than like the nearest affordable hotels.
It was right over the water.
Right
over the water.
All right. Fort Lee or something? Okay.
I don't know, fan, but we don't know the area very well. So.
The toll alone will bring up the cost of the road.
I looked at that in advance to see where the toll-free route was to choose our place.
Good.
I am the driver.
Yeah, she has that all planned out.
Problem looking at the advanced traffic and where to go.
Well, the nice part about Nighthawk, you've been there before, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
You've been to Nighthawk, right?
No, we've never been to the Nighthawk.
Oh, they have a really nice bar on the ground floor, and it's a really great place to grab a table and talk movies.
Nice. Oh, I love that.
We could do that after Maniac Cop.
Yeah, that sounds great. I would love to do that.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
That sounds like a great time. Yeah. So we're really looking forward to it. This will be our first time at Brooklyn Horror Film Festival, and yeah, it'll be a good time. And it's always good to talk with you, and let's do this again sometime.
I look forward.
Yeah.
Perhaps we'll do it at the Coolidge Center.
Yes, yeah.
The corner, whatever it is.
The corner, yeah, whatever. We'll rename it the center, but yeah.
All right, take care. Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Have a good night.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back, and we'll talk about, I don't know what we're going to talk about, but we'll talk about some stuff.
We can be a little more professional about Brooklyn Horror Festival, maybe.
Yeah. We'll run down the stuff that's going on. We can
tell you guys what it's all about. We can we're really wanting to do Brooklyn Horror Film Festival proud, and we'll give you guys the information. It's like a week. It's over a week long, isn't it? Or just a week? It's long.
Yeah, it's a long festival, which is very cool. It's like a week long.
I love that because people have not everybody could make a weekend festival, but someone might be able to, I'll drop in on a Thursday or whatever. It gives people a lot of different opportunities to be able to attend.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go to break and figure it out.
Yeah, I'm gonna let me grab a video. I did not have one saved here.
Hi, Mark Miller.
Mark Miller here in the chat.
Yeah.
I'm trying to set this up here. I'll play a video here from Diablo Joe.
Nice.
But I do not have it downloaded, so I'm trying to here we go. We got it ready.
You're a very snap, crackle, pop, just so you know. Your mic.
I had a video playing, so it probably was it's probably fine now.
Right. BRB.
Is it okay right now? Can you hear me fine now at the moment?
Right now in this moment. Yes.
All right. Here we go. I'll hide us. How do I hide us here?
Oh, do you just
Not
expand
like
the video? See the regular expand thing? You just expand it, right?
No. Yeah, we got it. All right, here we go.
Okay, cool. See you in a minute.
Diablo Joe reviews The Mean One. Winnie the Pooh, The Banana Splits. These are just some of the fondly remembered childhood classics recently receiving gory and grisly modern updates. The latest entry, dipped in blood and dark intent, shall remain unnamed at the behest of the filmmakers. He is a beloved green-furred holiday figure of book and perennial TV special, already possessing horror ties to a thespian great whose genteel lisp voiced his animated incarnation. And we shall just leave it at that. Young Cindy was traumatized as a child when the green monster in a Santa suit killed her mother on Christmas Eve. Now an adult, she returns to her childhood home of Newville to find it bereft of any holiday cheer. For years, any glitter of tinsel or sound of wrapping paper tearing brought death and mayhem at the hands of a holiday-hating figure with a woefully dark and shriveled heart. The Mean One is a lively and tongue-in-cheek take on its Christmas counterpart, and director Steve Lamart, who crafted the film's clever and energetic script with Finn and Flick Kobler, knows how to make an enjoyable and lighthearted movie that can still bring the ick and gore. The picture is filled with witty puns, corny humor, and a myriad of brink-of-lawsuit nods to its source material. All the while, Lamart keeps the kills coming and creatively. The cast is appealing and roundly solid. As not-so-little Cindy you-know-who, Crystal Martin starts off the film as the perfect horror sweetheart, only to morph into a feisty and fierce fighting figure. During the requisite training montage, Martin will bring to many an audience member's mind MMA fighter and pro wrestler Ronda Rousey, for whom Martin was once a stunt double. Chase Mullins is suitably dorky as the self-effacing cop who catches Cindy's heart, and Eric Baker is all macho grit as the skeptical Newville sheriff who knows more than he lets on. Particularly enjoyable is the lovably gruff and grumble Doc Zeus, played by John Bigham, a man who has made it his mission to end the Mean One's sleigh bells ringing. And what of the old Mean One? If his pantomime antics during the scene where he terrorizes and eviscerates a barroom full of drunken mall Santas reminds you of a certain terrifying clown, don't be surprised that the man behind the mean green is Art himself, David Howard Thornton. While the comparison between the two roles is a bit on the nose in that scene, Thornton's Mean One is far more vocal and bestial throughout the rest of the film. He's a nasty piece of work, that fellow. From its cheeky sing-along narration to its gaudy, bright, and colorful photography and its excellent production design, everything about the Mean One is a cut above. Though sometimes strangely paired with distracting CGI bloodletting, its makeup effects are gruesome and delightfully fun. From its Christmas Eve opening to its didn't see that coming ending, The Mean One is both an enjoyable horror parody and a perversely cheeky and blood-soaked love letter to its source material. It's goofy, gory fun, wrapped up with a bow tied tightly round its neck. This devil of a reviewer gives The Mean One 3 out of 5 imps.
Hey, all right, and we are back here.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that because it literally looks exactly like the James Carrey Grinch, like exactly the same. Exactly.
Yeah, it's I've
There's
seen the
no
movie and it does.
exactly the same, and even the theme seems. I mean, the Grinch James Carrey one, Jim Carrey one, wasn't like gory or anything like that, but you did see this movie?
Yeah, I saw it last year when it had a limited release last year, and now it's
Did you
got
see the
a
Jim
full.
Carrey Grinch?
Oh no, I actually haven't seen the movie, but I haven't seen the Grinch one, the actual Grinch movie, but I've seen, I knew what he looks like, and it does look exactly like
It's exactly like him.
Yeah. David Howard Thornton does a good job, a great job really playing the character. My mom liked it better than me. We watched it together. It's got
What was it
as Joe brought up the CG blood. I thought was really off-putting. But my mom's take on that it was done on purpose to make it seem cartoony to match the theme of the movie, which is possible, or it could be you're giving the person too much credit who made it. I don't know.
Well, I don't know, but
Yeah, Joe seemed to like it. It was a fun movie. Yeah,
cool.
This one is different because some people, as he mentioned, the Winnie the Pooh movie and stuff. The difference is Winnie the Pooh, the copyright, ran out, so it's public domain. Grinch is not public domain. So the difference is they actually they sneak around making sure to never reference the source material. So that is, I think, a difference that should be said, because also I think a lot of people, they just think like Winnie the Pooh is Disney, like Disney invented it. They didn't, So I think other people have the right to do what Disney did to make a story off of something else. So the Winnie the Pooh movie, though, it's funny, that one.
Yes.
People talked about that it looked like the gore and like the look and all that stuff was bad. But I watched it and actually thought all the kills and stuff were actually very good. But the story is completely not there. The opening is amazing. There's an animated opening of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. There's a really weird animated opening which explains the history of Winnie the Pooh and is it Christopher Robinson, yeah, and so that's very cool. And like they eat like Eeyore and stuff, and so that's all cool. And then so there's parts of the movie I thought were actually really good, but there's stuff like it's very a lot of TNA, a lot of typical slasher stuff, which is kind of lame. And there's like some really great scenes when Winnie the Pooh is beast-like, and so uses his paws to like rip someone's face off. I'm into that. But then there's also stuff where he's driving a car over people's heads, and that just is kind of stupid because they don't speak and they're beast-like. So keep them that way. And you didn't have to. I'm not saying this has to have the Godfather script, but just stuck to the rules of what you make, and I think it would have been a far better film. But they are making a bigger budget sequel, and apparently Tigger is now public domain, so Tigger will be in the sequel.
Tigger was not public domain?
Not at that time, so he must have came out a year after, or whatever years after.
Very weird. Oh, I should have had a fork or a spoon. I'm deciding because I really wanted to carve a pumpkin today, but I didn't have time.
You're gonna carve an apple?
I'll be carving this apple.
All right.
As we go.
Okay.
But
one year I carved radishes.
That is a traditional.
Yeah, and I didn't know that.
It is. Not everybody had potatoes and potatoes. Pumpkins.
Yeah.
Not everybody had potatoes, Neil.
A carved potato would be pretty cool. To me, my Irish jack-o'-lantern.
Let me there's some really cute radishes. Jack-o'-lantern. And some really scary ones, like rutabaga. Oh, carved turnips. Oh my god, it's horrible.
Big thanks to Bill Lustig being on. I'm a huge fan of his movies, and he's
We
really
didn't
lovely to talk
about
to.
Maniac. I was
What?
bummed. I was like, had all this Maniac thoughts in my mind, and then it just didn't even happen. I'm like,
Oh, we could have. I was just
dang.
talking about Maniac Cop since it was coming up, but
I know, but then it was like, and let's wrap it up. But I say that, but I thought, well, he'll just come back and we'll talk about Maniac Cop, and he can tell
yeah,
stories about
we'll talk.
Joe
Part
Schmo.
2, Maniac could talk about his buddy. I think that would totally work.
I sent you the turnip lantern.
So he had mentioned if we're, I'm always happy. I'm fine with like he was saying, like there's something missing from modern movies, for the most part. It's different than, and that's fine by me. But I also liked that Bill is still watching new stuff and he likes a lot of new stuff.
Yeah, he's open to it.
Yeah,
But
and he seems genuinely excited to watch a lot of stuff.
yeah, which is cool. I hope he will. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, he'll get with the. Oh my God! Look at those terrifying things.
Those are creepy.
That's real. That's not like some like AI created madness.
Yeah.
It's real.
Are those the aliens that guy in Mexico found?
No, this is real.
I know.
Food.
I'd like to take them and like put a little goatee on the one and put like some little blue bangs on the other one. We can make them the Annabelle and Neil dolls.
Oh, these ones are really cute. I'll send you one more. I got someone who's asking me about going and meeting in Brooklyn. Anybody? So this is going to be the same announcement from LA. Is there are people that we? Oh, I lost you. Where is it? There you are. People we truly love and enjoy, and I'm not going to name names. I don't want to single anybody out or make anyone at all feel awkward, but we just don't have time. Like we're
only there 2 whole days, really.
We get in Friday night, we may be able to see some midnight thing, and then it's that, and then I have to drive back because of the unfortunate job. So.
Yeah, and when we're there for a festival, we want to not only just watch his stuff, but we want to interact with it. So you know, we can't just like leave the place for an extended period of time.
Yeah, because they're really they're trusting in us to do coverage. So we want to. Oh, it's so cute. So we want to respect that. And so it's definitely, if we ever travel anywhere and there's not time to visit with people, it definitely is not personal. And someday when Neil and I, well, Neil's already like uber loaded, but I'm not. So someday when I'm super wealthy, we will try. I'm just joking. I'm just being silly about Neil. We can travel the world and visit people and do all kinds of cool stuff. But in this time where I still have to be a slave to the man, we can't do that.
Right, or we get a sponsor who wants to fly us around places, but we're still very happy to get all these experiences in. And, so he asked about
slave to the man of Brooklyn. I'm slave to the man of my day job. That was definitely not about Brooklyn.
Oh, I understand. So Bill had asked about if we were going to go see the new Exorcist, which we plan on going to see Sunday. So that'll be a dinner and a movie, and hopefully we'll do some live streaming for that Sunday. So it'll probably be on the YouTube here and on Facebook. So be on the lookout. And I've seen pretty much, not entirely, but very good reviews for the new Saw. A lot of people say it's the best one since the first one.
I saw someone posted a joke about it might have actually been Todd Yeager posted something like, funny how people actually want to see him in the movies because he's amazing. I can't awesome.
Yeah. And then I've seen, I'm not even joking, I don't think I've seen one positive thing about the new Exorcist. From both.
When we saw it in the theater, the trailer, and I was like, this looks really cool. And then I saw it again, and I think I saw it with sane, sober eyes, and was like,
yeah. No, but I mean the early reviews are completely panning the movie.
Really?
Not just critics, but I don't think I've seen any just. Now, a lot of times, maybe the critics don't like it, then there's fans who like it, or maybe vice versa. But I'm sure someone say, "Hey, I liked it," but I'm seeing Universal just really saying this is really a rotten movie. So
Very sad. But it happens, you know? It happens. Sometimes creators get slammed for their stuff, and some people are going to love it, some people are going to hate it. But they got a lot of money for it, I'm sure. So good for those filmmakers. Applesauce.
I'm
For
the boss, applesauce.
Where's all my apples going so far?
Oh wow.
Yeah. Cruising right along. And it still has its hat. Oh, his hat falls inside though.
Ah.
Oh man. Oh well.
Yeah, and they supposedly I don't know, I don't really understand this. They spent $400 million for the rights to Exorcist franchise.
What?
And besides the original, and then part 3 has a cult following where people like it. All the other ones are pretty much thought it number 2 is considered a rotten movie. No one really talks about 3 and 4. They're just kind of there. So I don't really understand why they would have put, or even why they would have had to have put so much money into buying the franchise rights.
I don't know. I can only imagine. I don't know. They must have thought they had something really, really solid if they're going to spend all that money on it.
And plus they have planned as a trilogy, which this is always a big gamble. It's to put all this money into before you even know if anyone likes the first one. It's
yeah, that's so true.
And the thing is, a horror movie has a built-in audience today. A new Exorcist will have a built-in audience, so I think it'll do fairly well. But if everyone doesn't like it, word of mouth won't be there, repeat business won't be there, and then, is everyone gonna go see a second one? I mean, we'll
if
see.
It looks better than the first one, maybe. But then, you know what? I didn't like Brooklyn Horror Film Festival. That's such a cool design.
Yeah, I love it.
I just shipped that along to so that we could talk about some of the movies. And just say what they are. So people have a gist of what we're getting into here. There's a lot of movies, my friends. I don't even know if we could get into all of these. Do you have the lineup in front of your face?
Grab it right
I'm going to send it to you.
Oh, yeah. So Thursday, there's a movie called Kill Your Lover, if you get there early. 7 o'clock, one movie.
Dakota has had enough of her unhealthy and toxic relationship with Axel. Axel sounds toxic, I'm sorry. But the feeling isn't mutual. As she tries to end things, Axel begins turning into something different, something monstrous. Both an uncompromising breakup film and a wild new entry into the body horror canon. Co-directors Alex Austin and Keir Stewart's debut feature roars with a punk edge and killer practical effects and soars via dynamite performances from newcomers Paige Gilmore and Shane Quigley Murphy. That sounds interesting. But that's going to be before we're there. Unfortunately. Do you want me to send you the link?
Yeah, just checking some. I just got an email from Brooklyn Horror Film Festival.
There's You're fired.
No, there's a secret screening with very limited tickets. But we will not be there. It's for Monday at 7 at night. It's a pretty big movie that's coming out in the near future. So that's pretty cool.
Well,
cool for people though, and go get your tickets. If you have if you're a badge holder, if you get your badge for the whole week, you can get this special bonus.
So it's not like an invite only. If you can,
no, it's anyone who bought a badge.
That is actually something that's probably really important to talk about. Is before you get all thinking about this, is that there's different kind of packages. Oh, man, they look like the passes are sold out.
Oh, well, maybe, yeah. It probably, because a lot of the films are sold out, so that probably makes sense, yeah.
Interesting.
This is a really big festival,
What's the
so.
schedule? Wow. Okay, so here's the thing. Don't go without ordering your tickets.
Right. Go and see, probably don't get a badge, but go and see, like, what, especially if you're local or can get there, see what's available ticket-wise and come and see a few movies anyway.
Yeah. If you look, it's real easy to look up Brooklyn Horror Film Festival 2023, and you're going to find it. You can see all that stuff, Brooklyn Horror. I'm sure it's the only Brooklyn Horror Film Festival. And just poke around, check out the schedule, see what's possible. And I'm very excited for them that it's so popular already, that it's, stuff is sold. That's amazing. Congratulations to them.
Yeah, so Friday, we won't be there for a bunch of stuff, but there's some well, if you're there, though, then we got All You Need Is Death, which I believe is...
Oh, that was at 4:15? We will definitely not be there for that. We will be lucky to make it at midnight.
Yeah, but if people are there, it's sold out already, too. That's very cool. There's most stuff sold out, which is a good sign for them.
Messiah of Evil.
But that night, they're doing 3 different midnight movies. One's 11:45, but, possible, close to midnight movies. Messiah of Evil.
I feel very sure I've seen this before. Messiah of Evil. I'm going to have to look it up.
Yeah, it's a 50th anniversary, so that's very cool.
Yeah. Kind of my favorites.
They don't make them like this anymore. Applies directly to future Howard the Duck filmmakers William Huck and Gloria Katz's amazing, dread-thick cult classic Messiah of Evil.
I want to see it. I don't think I have seen this, and some of the stills are real weird.
Yeah, it looks wild. It's currently there, so we'll probably, if we get there in time, we should be able to see it. With its potent fever dream and handful of all-timer set pieces loaded with dread, it's a trip to Point Doom, California, where cosmic horror reigns supreme. So it's right up your alley. The great folks at the American Genre Film Archive and Radiance Films have restored this gem for its 50th anniversary, and Brooklyn Horror is thrilled to screen Messiah of Evil in its most
excited to see
form.
I can't believe I haven't seen this. I've heard the title many, many times. So I feel pretty good about, because it will be glorious to see it on a big screen for the first time.
Exactly.
So that's very
also
cool.
from Arrow Videos, the 35th anniversary of Door, which is also playing midnight that same night.
Door. Man, I'm feeling so not knowing Door. How old is Door? Well,
35.
Undiscovered gem.
Smitten with a lonely housewife, a slighted psycho salesman terrorizes her and her young son in this outrageous home invasion classic with an explosive third act that truly needs to be experienced. That is a Japanese horror film. And also Torso, which is also the 50th anniversary.
Well, what's that one?
With a mass killer picking off college students in Perugia, Italy, 4 co-eds head to a lavish countryside estate to escape the danger. Unfortunately for them, the killer has followed them there, turning their gateway villa into a slaughterhouse. Widely considered to be one of the first slasher films, this excellent and quite lurid giallo from the great Sergio Martino, celebrating its 50th anniversary this year, is a masterclass in both white-knuckle tension and tightly orchestrated murder set pieces.
Very interesting. I'm still on a Messiah of Evil.
All right. Sounds good to me.
Is that good for you?
Look at that. Yeah, Messiah of Evil. Looking cool.
Yeah, he's coming along. I'm feeling better. I've been really bummed that I haven't done I went outside. I'm like, maybe I'll have time to do my pumpkin at some point. And I saw that the top was like dark. Not dark like brown, but like a slightly darker, like as if you got a piece of paper wet. And it was like that because it is wet, because the top is rotting. So my giant pumpkin is rotting. So, okay, that's day 1 for us. Fangoria Happy Hour sounds super cool. Oh, man. Fangoria happy hour. But
Fangoria happy hour.
not
Join
you
us at the local
even though
watering
I'm
hole.
sick on Friday. I can't. I could do that.
Saturday, we got Nightmare Fuel in the morning, which is a bunch of horror shorts. For truly scary filmmaking, look no further than this year's close dose of terrifying shorts.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of cool
Just the
stuff.
picture alone here is
I know.
really
It's a
creepy. I don't know
movie
if
called
you
The
can share that
Mosquito
picture.
Lady.
Share that. We still have this Brooklyn horror thing over us.
I know.
Not that it's not beautiful, but so
It
what
doesn't
we
let
do.
me. That picture's not savable.
I can help you out.
All right.
I'll get it.
Do it.
I will do it. Right now.
It's a very good movie. Messiah of Evil will not disappoint.
Who said that?
Facebook user. He says Messiah of Evil is about zombies.
Zombies.
Well, zombies is a broad term, I will say.
I'm supposed to.
I saw a movie earlier today, Herd, which I did an interview for. It will be up on the site by this weekend probably. It premiered at Fright Fest, and it's having the U.S. premiere next week at New York Comic Con, and it's billed as a zombie movie, but I would not call it a zombie movie. It's an infected movie, which I know is kind of nitpicking, but they're very much not zombies in my opinion.
Well, we'll see what happens. I don't want to have judgment towards it.
Steve Navarro. It's a very good. Oh, Steve Navarro who had told us about Messiah of Evil.
Aha! I sent you the picture from this movie.
This groovy movie.
Yeah.
Whoops. Let me save
like
this. Whoops.
You have to save it before you can share it.
Yeah, I have to save it, and then it's a big ordeal here.
Oh.
It's a big ordeal
Sacrifice, Neil.
to get this photo up.
Ugh.
Boom. That is creepy though. Yellow eyes.
It's worth it.
Whacked out skin looks almost like your apple.
Ooh, I don't know if I want to eat these pieces of apple anymore. Thanks, Neil. As I chew on its face.
I'm not sure. I was just seeing if I knew any of the directors, and I don't believe we've had any of these directors on, so that'd be interesting. That's a collection of what?
What is the unifying thing to that?
Oh, that they're scary.
Oh, good.
So there's a collection from all over the place. American ones, English ones, Chinese, and Spain. And then a home invasion, we originally thought that meant it was all these home invasion shorts, but it's actually local shorts.
Yeah, like home invasion. Brooklyn, New York is the home invading.
Yes.
Because I don't really care that much about home invasion. Neil doesn't either. I don't believe you do.
No, interesting. I saw that, speaking of home invasion, that they're doing a remake trilogy of The Strangers,
What?
which that movie doesn't seem that old to me to do a remake. I guess it's 15 years old, but the sequel was like 4 or 5 years ago. It just seems odd. It seems weird to me to remake something that's so like fresh, I think. Yeah. Is there big money in The Strangers remake though? Like I know it was like a modest hit, but it's not like it's Friday the 13th or Nightmare on Elm Street. And they're going right to a trilogy.
Kids today, Neil Jones.
Is this going to be the new thing? All the remakes will be trilogies too?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, it's going to be a trilogy. I don't know if that story needs a trilogy.
I don't even think I saw the first one.
I'm not really a big fan. It's well loved by a lot of people, but
I feel I see one home invasion movie is basically the same shit.
Yeah, I would recommend High Tension. It's a home invasion movie. It's got a great twist to it. I'm a big fan of the movie. Very graphic.
All right. All right.
Laugh Now, Die Later, which is a collection of horror comedies.
Yeah. We're seeing that?
Yes.
Yeah. I know we
Brian
put it all out
Lanano.
together, but I don't remember anymore.
Brian Lanano.
Yeah. I'm familiar.
He's a cool guy.
Very
He's
good.
been on the show.
I like cool people.
I met him at Buff.
I approve.
He was there at Buff when you were here. You were there too, but you had come in after. You were there just a little bit later in the day, so you did not meet.
Oh, well, maybe we'll meet him this time.
Yeah, he's made a lot of cool. He's made stuff that a lot of stuff that's played at Severed Limbs.
Oh.
Also, Fucking Nuts will be playing there by Sam Fox. He's been on the show. And I've met her at Ohio Nightmares. She's very cool. Todd just reviewed reviewed this movie, Fucking Nuts.
Oh, really? Very good. Is that review already posted?
Yeah, it's on the YouTube. And she'll be there. She's gonna be there, so we'll probably hopefully we'll do some live streaming at some point with her on the show.
Mm-hmm. Have a chit chat.
Yes. Cannibal Mukbang is a feature film that day. That's a really odd name.
What is it?
Cannibal Mukbang.
Yeah, I looked up mukbang though. It means something. I can't remember what it means anymore. I'm gonna look it up again.
Yeah, I don't know what it means.
It has a meaning. It is
shy and looking for love. Mark quickly becomes smitten with the outgoing and mysterious Ash, who somehow, much to his surprise, reciprocates the attraction. But as his feelings for her intensify, so does his unexpected submersion into Ash's biggest love, the wild world of mukbanging. Sounds like really nasty,
weird.
but I don't think
it simply means eating broadcast. The core intention is quite sweet. Lonely people get to virtually eat with others, as togetherness around meals is arguably a beyond culture human desire. So that's the point of a mukbang, but mukbang is also known as an eating show, an online audiovisual broadcast in which a host consumes various quantities of food while interacting with the audience. It's real. I'm so curious.
Yeah.
Now I want to. Oh God, there's
Pepe is into this ASMR eating. He says.
Oh, I don't know if I could do ASMR eating. Have you done ASMR at all yet, Neil?
I'm not a fan. It has the opposite effect on me.
Did you try hard to find the right one?
It makes me like pissed.
You gotta find the right one.
The
ones that Seth Hayes recommended to me, absolutely not. I like people that were pretending to massage people and play drums. Very chill.
Let's see. Oh, by the way, a word of advice. This is just a little word of advice from Nasty Neil to people out there. Because years ago on In Your Head, my wrestling show, this just made me think of it because ASMR. A fan had looked into my co-host likes on our favorites on YouTube because he had them public. And there's a lot of very weird stuff there involving ASMR. So, and other things. So, my advice out there: make sure that you have that private, because you don't necessarily want everyone knowing what you're into. But his feelings for we did this. I'm sorry. So, mukbang, interesting.
Poor John. Poor John.
He's in. I don't know what he's doing now. He's off the show for the next couple of weeks.
Aww.
So yeah, Troy was the terrible Troy was actually my co-host on In Your Head this week.
Was he?
Yes,
cool.
I did it very late at night, so he was around.
Cool.
And we talked about
you told him
Wrestle
how
Dream.
I miss him.
Yes, yeah. I told him he could just jump on. I know he can't be on right when we go live, but he could always just jump on later in the night with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about Wrestle Dream. It's
What?
Wrestle Dream, AEW Wrestle Dream. It was a wrestling pay-per-view. Had a lot of wrestlers from New Japan, and it's a tribute to Antonio Inoki. It was a cool show.
Uh-huh. What's going on in Brookline?
Booger.
Yeah. What's that all about, Neil?
After her debut feature, Mary Dodderman explores how grief can manifest in the most unlikely ways with Booger. Anna has lost her roommate and her cat Booger after it bites her, then jumps out the window. As she starts to slowly withdraw from those around her, she enters into her own world of grieving as her mind, body, and behavior morph into an animalistic way to process the world around her. If touching body horror is a thing, then Booger is it. Touching body horror. This is very weird.
Because it isn't about boogers. Booger is just the name of the cat.
Yeah, right.
Wish I had a light to like
put like a candle in there.
Oh, I can do something. I'll probably burn myself.
No.
I can still hear you.
Oh man, did you hear about that Annabelle Lecter? So join the pay site to hear all the dirt. It's only $3.99 a minute.
Son of a bitch.
So, by the way, before we go back and we go to this next one, I'll talk about this one next. Red Rooms, I believe that is one we are going to see. Red Rooms, compelled to follow the trial of a serial killer and her gruesome murders of 3 little girls, the captivatingly enigmatic Kelly Ann conducts her own covert search for a crucial piece of missing evidence needed to indict him. A snuff video of one of the victims, recklessly putting her own life and sanity at risk. A pitch-black and stylish blend of unsettling courtroom drama and disturbing cyber thriller that will rattle you to the bone. Jury Award winner of Best Feature, Screenplay Score, and Performance at Fantasia International Film Festival.
Sounds interesting.
Right. We will be there. There is no mukbanging in Red Rooms, but we will be there.
No? Oh, maybe I've got it now.
Maybe there is. I don't know.
Oh.
Mukbang sounds like something would have been on like the old Without Your Head After Hours show or something.
It's not working at all. Damn, now it's smoking. Fuck. Just that's a point. Maybe I'm scared. Like, what if I put a little ball of paper in there and it's like, so I try to match.
Put like gasoline.
You have water near me.
Yeah, I think you'd be all right.
If I light it up.
It's that toasted coconut.
Is so stupid of me right now. It's just ridiculous.
I got some new limited edition. I don't have it down here, but I got new limited edition seltzer.
Ooh.
Spiced apple for the
Spiced
fall.
apple.
It's very good.
All right, let me try this again.
People got it at the Whole Foods.
Thoughts.
Does that make me a fancy lad shopping at the Whole Foods?
Whole Foods is so much better than Trader Joe's. People are
you get some good stuff. You get some a lot of good. They have a lot of a lot of apples that you can't get other places, and really nice sweet potatoes. I'm a big fan of the sweet potato. Nice heirloom tomatoes. Ah, see that work?
Yes, thanks.
That's very Halloween-esque.
Yeah.
Like the opening of Halloween.
Now it's gonna light on a fire.
Fire. Fire.
Okay, there it goes. See the Q-tip?
Yeah. Oh, it's a Q-tip. Okay.
The glowing embers of the Q-tip.
I saw at Five Below they make like ones to little like electric lights or battery operated lights you can put in pumpkins.
I kind of like being like this, like. Woo.
Yeah, I like it. It looks cool.
I'm in my Halloween mode. I actually have a pumpkin here, but I refuse to cut it because it's so cute.
Oh yeah, that looks really good in the dark.
Yeah, stole this out of Salem. I might have already said that on the show.
Calling the cops
from Salem. You can try, but I will. Into the night.
Pepe Potit. Shine the light from your phone through the top opening. Interesting.
Yeah. It's not flame, man. Let me see what I can do.
Maybe you can bring up a flame video on the YouTube and put your phone inside the apple.
Oh, maybe I can do that. Wow, how clever. What's
It's,
going on in Brooklyn?
it's just like what we were talking about, problem solving with Bill Lustig,
Yeah.
throwing people off cliffs and stuff.
I think that was bad for me because now my throat feels bad.
What?
Oh, I think there was something about burning the Q-tip that was not for my health.
Now you look, it's we talk about the gritty movies and they look cool. Those real actions things look cool, but do we want people to put themselves at risk for our entertainment? I mean, yes. So
I put myself at risk just now. That could have totally gone wrong.
Very true. T-blockers. Alice Mayo McKay, a former guest on the show, gives us the transgressive, queer, meta, political, and gooey horror film we need with their third feature film at just the age of 19.
Just the age of 19.
T-blockers. When dangerous parasites begin to take over the body and minds of men, the queer community in a small Australian town must fight back again. Centering on filmmakers Spencer and Sophie along with their team of bigot fighters, McKay gets to the reality of our reality in which the queer community is repeatedly threatened with the new horrors by those in power. T-blockers is a low-budget fun destined to be cult classic.
Look at that. Nice work, Pepe.
Oh, that looks sweet. Yeah, Pepe. Pepe, damn, Pepe, Petit.
Pepe, the problem solver.
Pepe knows the deal. Pepe Petit. I didn't bring it up, but Tom Atkins, not to spoil Maniac Cop, has an amazing death scene.
Someone brought up Tom Atkins earlier.
I'm a huge Tom Atkins fan.
He's not a huge fan of yours.
No, he did an interview with us.
Barely.
No, he was fine. I think a lot of people didn't even talk to him.
He seems so bothered.
Well, that's how I assume he just is. I think that's just his personality.
Maybe he's just dickish and in a hurry all the time.
I've always enjoyed how Tom Atkins, not so much actually in Maniac Cop, but in all the John Carpenter movies, he's this like sex symbol. Jamie Lee Curtis is just throwing herself at him.
I so almost did, Neil. I just had to be mindful of myself and be like, I can't behave this way now. I can't embarrass Neil Jones. And be like, whoa, Tom.
I love it because I like Tom, but I'm like, is this like the studliest man alive? I don't get it. But
this is how it works, Neil, for men and women, is that women are attracted to a broad range of men. I guess I'm not attracted to Tom Atkins, but I guess he's included.
But it's only in John Carpenter. I think in John Carpenter's mind, and in Halloween 3, which isn't a John Carpenter movie,
movies that have people that are like.
But not Tom Atkins isn't like this where all the women are just throwing themselves all over him, except for in John Carpenter movies and Halloween 3.
When is
I'm just throwing in. I think in John Carpenter's mind, he sees him and like, this is the epitome of man here, Tom Atkins.
Maybe.
I asked Tommy Lee Wallace when he was on the show this very question, and he just kind of laughed and he was like, I don't really know. I guess in John Carpenter's mind. But it's very weird. Like, yeah, he picks up a hitchhiking Jamie Lee Curtis in the fog, and she's just like, let's go to bed. Halloween 3, the young girl's all over him, and he's a married dude. So he's not necessarily a good guy.
Really funny in that movie.
Yeah,
his wife seems nice enough. Like,
yeah,
he's got a family. What a bum.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of man is that? Boo, man, boo. You know there's no open relationship at that time. Oh, Jonathan Jackson.
Someone sounds jealous of Tom Atkins. Damn.
Yeah.
He went gray early. Maybe I should stop doing the just. It's going a little gray at the moment. So just stop doing the just for men. I'll be the Tom Atkins of.
Embrace your beard silver. I was watching the British Baking Company, which I won't get into it, but there's the guy Paul Hollywood, and he's all silver, and he looks great.
My hair I don't dye my hair at all, and it's very brown, but my beard is very.
You're like Doctor Strange.
My brother's the same way though. He had a completely white beard young. And he has very, he has a little bit of gray now, but, pretty dark hair. But he has much thicker hair.
Apparently, I don't know who Facebook user is right now. Because we have more than one. Anytime it's Facebook user, like we'll see another Facebook user and don't know if it's you again or not. So if you even put in before what you write, your name.
Yeah, that is also Steve
your
Navarro.
name and we'll know who you are. Because I feel bad not knowing who people are.
Steve Navarro.
Oh, how do you see that?
If I look on, if they are doing it on the Facebook on Without Your Head, I can see it easily. But I have to go and look there. But if they're doing it off yours or mine, I'd have to go and look at them specifically.
You be introducing them.
Yeah. So that's Steve Navarro.
That's the Boz. Yeah. I can see that.
Oh yeah. But that's like pretty common.
That's why he was in a hurry to not talk with me and Neil.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
I
don't know if that's true or not, but yeah.
Alcohol to drink.
I love him in Creep Show. He just slaps Stephen King's
son.
He's
so mean. So mean. He's good at it.
Oh yeah. In my mind, it's kind of how he
is like as a person. Like I know he was kind of like brushing us away, which is fine. I get it. He was on his way out of the room already. So, but I do wonder what he's like. I can't grasp from the little I've seen of him. Off screen, I don't know. Who is Tom Atkins? Has he been on the show?
No, just that one interview.
Why don't we get him on the show?
I've tried to get him on, but I've got a picture. Look, he's got a big smile on his face with me.
Where?
I'm loading.
Can't wait.
See, well, once you start talking to me, how can you not? By the way, earlier, interview recorded earlier, the guest told me that I should change my name from Nasty Neil, and I mentioned that my friend Annabelle said the same thing, because I'm not nasty.
Yeah, I agree.
Look at that. See,
look how young you are. Oh my God, you're like a child.
I know. Look, I'm an old, dried-up man now.
Crazy.
Look at the polka dots. That's pretty rocking.
No, you were really unhappy with it at the time, though.
Yeah. After I put it on, I was like, man, this looks goofy as hell.
No, it was really cool. It was very Neil.
Still got the hat. I probably still have the polka dots, but they don't fit.
Need to get you a downsized hat. Can they size a hat like they size a ring? And like...
Oh, the hat... Oddly, the hat still fits.
Oh, that's
and other fitted hats, mine just go over my ear. Either I put them on and my ears stick out like this, or I put them on over my ears. It's very weird. But that for some reason that one fits. I don't know. And it's also fitted, so I don't get it. Or sized anyway.
Oh, it was Steve Navarro talking about Clint Howard going on the show. I would love to have him on the show because that Evil Speak movie is amazing. Oh, I've seen it. It's great. That's a great movie.
So very weird. Last week we mentioned that. We also mentioned Jenny Spain from. I don't even know why we brought up Jenny Spain, but said she'd be cool to have back on the show. She's a very funny guest. And then I think it was the next day, got an email from Unearthed Films that they're putting out a special anniversary edition of Dead Girl. With Jenny Spain doing commentary, and I was like, "Oh, that's really." So I texted Jenny Spain, and she's all about coming back on. She had a great time. So the week we come back, it's the 19th, I believe. She's going to be on the show, and then the 24th is when the Blu-ray comes out. So she's going to come on right before the Blu-ray comes out. So it's very strange coincidence.
Maybe
I need to. Get on Clint there. And also, I'd mentioned before the show, because he'd brought up Black Phone. It was literally right before the show, I got an email about a new short film with the actress from Black Phone, who we both thought she was amazing in it.
Yes.
And she wants to do interviews for her new short film. So I was like, yeah, it'd be sweet.
Excellent. That's great.
I'm glad to see her doing, new
Yes.
stuff too. I don't know. I'll look at it later. I'm not sure where it was. It's, I have multiple emails too. There's actually story why, but I won't bore the audience with it. But there's two different without. Well, there's actually three different without your head emails. Angst. Banned across Europe during its initial release due to its intense violence, Austrian filmmaker Gerald Cargill's brutal and formally transgressive Angst, remains one of horror's most underappreciated works of sick genius.
I like that. That's why I wanted to see it.
Yeah.
Sounds like, what the hell is that going to be?
Ostensibly a look at a homicide-filled day in the life of an unnamed serial killer fresh out of prison, it's a chilling exercise in intimate, documentary-like sadism in the hands of an overlooked director whose biggest fan is none other than Gaspar Noé.
When is that one?
That's Saturday night at midnight.
Oh.
For some reason, I think someone brought this movie up on the show not that long ago as one of their favorite horror, and we had not heard of it, Angst.
Really?
And we looked it up. Yeah, interesting.
Hmm.
I forget who it was.
I don't know.
That's a midnight movie. Yeah, it's playing the same time as Ringu, so we could possibly see it.
I would like to see it.
I would like to see it too.
I like Ringu, but I know I've seen it and I have not seen Angst. Have you seen The Ring?
No.
Wow.
I feel crazy. I feel it's bad though. By the way, Sam Haynes in the chat earlier, and you did the art for his previous CD and his new CD.
Yes.
And that is going to be the first prize for the Halloween contest is people will win a download link with a password for his new CD.
Awesome. Yeah, I've got the first Halloween. Of course, the stuff. Come on now, Steve. Of course, we
love
like
the stuff. That's one of my favorite films.
I've got
this
stuff over here somewhere. But
Can't
Neil
get enough of the stuff.
So I guess I'm not going to ever give it to him.
What?
I have a sticker for the stuff I was going to give you, but you have nothing to put stickers on.
Let's put on my head.
I thought maybe Neil will do like I did with my thermos, and he'll put stickers all over it.
Oh,
yeah.
I could do that actually.
A lunchbox.
Yeah, I could do that.
All right, good. Then you will get some stickers.
Sweet. Yeah, I'll do that.
They've been here for like years.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Years.
Yeah, I have a gift to you from a recent guest too.
Oh.
Oh
I
yeah.
do want to open this at some point. I'm so excited that what is the name of it? Insight Editions. That's not the name of the company, is it? Written by Christopher March.
When I got these Halloween lights, I didn't know they blinked. I just thought they glowed orange, but they blink. So I hope that's not too distracting.
It's very distracting. So this is the Necronomicon themed tarot deck and guidebook, and we were very, very fortunate to have some good people like just donate these to us, and I was really excited because Neil got this, and I'm like, that's the one I want. And then
and it was cool because we also get Universal Monsters one, so I kept that one.
Yes. So yeah. So I want to. So we have a good amount of time for the night. So I don't want to stomp into Brooklyn. So let's go on with Brooklyn. But I feel bad because I've had this for weeks and I've been thinking about how do I want to do the reveal.
Well, that's the weekend in Brooklyn. So after this, we won't be around. But Sunday. That was a Saturday. Wow, this is a friggin' loaded place, isn't it?
It is.
Sunday morning, then we've got Slade, which is, I believe, what we're going to be seeing.
Let's see here.
Intimate body. Oh, this is a collection of horror shorts that are all body horror films.
Yes. So absolutely, all about it.
Yeah, and I don't believe we've had any of these guests on either, so that'll be cool. Mm-hmm. Home Invasion 2, which is a second collection of local shorts, which that will be fun. Conan with 3 N's, 2 N's at the end.
2 N's. Like Conan and like Annabelle. Conan.
This one looks very strange.
Loosely riffing on the Conan the Barbarian myth with a gender reversal remix, this omnibus-like oddity follows the title character played by multiple different actresses. I just lost my place. From the Stone Age to the 80s New York City. Each new iteration giving Mendico a chance to play with his eye-popping visual skills. The cumulative experience is truly one of a kind. That does sound interesting to me. It's very strange sounding. Mm-hmm. It sounds very art. So I'm curious, but it's a horror fest, so I don't know. There is some creepy in the picture itself. I can get the picture. It's gonna be a pain in the bum to get you this picture. All right, I got it. Where's my screen?
This is also the day that Blackout is playing, so I'm very excited about that.
Cool. Yeah, Joe, need better. Show you. There it is. There it is. Blackout, then Maniac Cop. Wow. And then Only the Good Survive.
Blackout, Larry Fessenden will be there, so I'm excited to meet Larry. I talked to Jeremy Holm earlier, who we had on the show not too long ago, and he may be making the scene as well.
Really?
So that would be very cool if we... I've never met Jeremy either. Mm-hmm. He was in Herd. He's one of the main characters in Herd that I mentioned earlier.
Oh, okay.
But he was, we just had him on for Brooklyn 45.
Mm-hmm.
He's a cool guy.
Wait, which guy were you telling me about?
Jeremy Holm.
Yeah.
We had him on the same show as Larry.
Yeah.
So he also might be coming out to see Larry's movie.
That would be super sweet.
He's in it as well. He's I don't think he has a huge part in it, but he's in it. Oh. So there we go. This is very weird.
You get it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, right? It's very surreal, so... I don't remember if we picked that for that time, but I'm there for it.
Yeah. No, we didn't, but we didn't have... it doesn't mean we still can't see it, so we'll find out. But Blackout, which is Larry Fessenden's werewolf movie, I'm very excited about.
He is a great guest. I really enjoyed him. It was very fun. Yeah. Very into werewolves. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that.
So that's going to be a great block. Blackout with Larry Fessenden, Maniac Cop with Bill Lustig, who's just on. So that's going to be the day.
Mm-hmm. It'll be a good day. We'll try to keep in touch with you guys. There's just I'd like to work it out so at least once a day we have a time we'll definitely, just something you could be like, at 4 p.m, we'll check in with you. Yeah. But we haven't established that. Don't count on it.
I was hoping to test out. I had ordered some wireless microphones. I was all excited about. I got them yesterday. I charged them up, and they do not work.
Stop.
And
really?
So I tried all the different ways. I connected it to the audio thing. You could connect it to the C. None of them worked. I did all the different things I suggested, and none of them worked. It did not work whatsoever. So I'm sending them back to Amazon.
It was an Amazon one. It wasn't like that. Whatever.
They're not made by Amazon, but I ordered them off Amazon. So it's a
very
free
nice
return,
out
but it
there.
sucked. I don't care about, the return. I wanted something that worked. So I don't know. I might try a different brand and see if they work. I don't know.
Would they have anything like that at like a store you could encounter in Boston, perhaps, or a Best
I
Buy?
mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
right.
don't know. I had a hard time finding any electric stores actually in Boston the last couple times.
Really?
When I was trying to
They
look
don't
up
sell a
find
Radio Shack rolling around
stuff. No,
somewhere?
I don't think so. I don't think Radio Shacks exist.
There was one in Southie for a long time. I saw one the other day. Where the hell was I? I was driving back from way out in the middle of nowhere, Maine, and there was a real operating Radio Shack. It's crazy. I should have gotten in to just buy something and get a bag.
So this will be a busy
Memorial
weekend.
bag. It will be a
Maybe
very
see
busy
couple
weekend.
movies. It'll be a good time.
It'll be a very good time. Halloween!
Just the Halloween dance. So Halloween, yeah, that's why we get all these lights here. And there's, I don't know if these don't show up too good, but there's also, they're like Christmas. Well, they're not Christmas. They're Halloween ornaments. So like, this is like an eyeball.
I'm gonna have to zoom in here.
Let me just take them off. And show.
Whoa.
Look at this.
Oh, I see the eyeball. Oh, that's cute.
Isn't that cool?
I like it.
So it's probably just that there's, I have so much stuff here you can't notice it. But there's eyeballs, there's tinsel, there's orange, this is orange pumpkin tinsel, and there's also purple bat tinsel. But I'm not sure how well it shows up. But what can you do?
It's quite a place over there.
Yeah. Yeah. Corbin Burnson mentioned, he's like, whoa, look at all that stuff.
Shirt's too big and weird.
I like to be very inconspicuous.
Mm-hmm.
Or the opposite of that, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Circuit City and Radio Shacks don't exist. Yeah.
Radio Shack in Maine.
There still is Best Buy. There is a Best Buy in Dorchester.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's over by that
Why
theater.
does it exist? Oh, okay. I remember Circuit City, and the Circuit City that used to be near where I am now is now a Ocean State Job Lots.
No, I do like Job Lot.
Mm-hmm. We are renovating. Wow, the Radio Shack website is quite modern.
Really?
They are in Latin America, South America, and the Caribbean. They are all over the world with cool gaming chairs. Dang. Wow, Radio Shack is looking pretty good out there in the rest of the world.
I have to bring this up, and I'm sorry that Annabelle couldn't be there for it. At the time it was supposed to be, she couldn't have been there. You couldn't have been there anyway, but it was supposed to be a press day interview, which is normally very short for Dwight H. Little. It ended up being almost like an hour and a half interview because he didn't care. He's like, he's going to stay. Great guest. So hopefully we'll get him back on the show sometime for a live show. Great. His book is awesome. They sent it. I don't want to throw anyone in the bus, but they sent it to me almost midnight the night before I was going to do the interview. And I was like, what the hell? But I'll be honest, it was so good. I did skip some chapters just because it was physically, unless I just stayed up all night and day and didn't, sleep at all. I couldn't really stay up and read the whole thing. But I went over all the Halloween 4 stuff. I skipped around to a lot of the horror stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But great book. Lots of ups and downs in filmmaking. Very honest about that. But also, you could tell he always had love of movie making.
Very nice.
Very honest about, you make a hit movie, things are great for you. You make a flop, they abandon you. So. But yeah, really. Also, because I was doing research before I got the book. And most of the stuff I did research was completely wrong from his story. So, and he even said it wasn't even like opinion stuff. It was just stuff that was just factually incorrect.
Oh,
yeah,
interesting. I just wanted to share the evidence that Radio Shack still exists because it does.
Aha!
It opens at 9:00 tomorrow. For anyone that wants to discover it on their own.
That'd be funny if it just gets packed. Like everyone's here because they listen to.
Why is everyone here? We heard about you on Without Your Head Horror podcast and had to see it for ourselves.
Yeah, no, but buy something,
Yeah.
just show up. They're not going to get
The
into
last
that.
thing I bought in a Radio Shack that I can remember, I think it was a Radio Shack. It was in Southie. Couldn't have been a Radio Shack. It must have been the store next door, which also closed. It was some really old, kind of like a dollar store. Was a Snickers bar like this? Literally, it was a Snickers bar this big. We bought for Christmas and sent to Australia.
Oh, very cool.
A whole other story.
Yeah,
Mr.
I saw
Lloyd,
it. He still pops up every now and then replying on stuff, and I think he even popped up not long ago replying on a YouTube video.
Oh, really? Yeah, Mr. Lloyd Duff is a very special man from Australia I've been around pretty much since my entire time of being in this fine horror world. And he is really he says he's no longer into Lawrence Harvey of Human Centipede because he's met a lovely American. That was the thing, is he would make weird, lewd jokes about Snickers bars. I love Snickers bars, so I sent him a giant Snickers bar. Lloyd.
I hope he enjoyed it.
For one time, he was the one person on my Facebook people I really want to meet. For a long time.
Yeah.
Holds a special place in my heart, Lloyd. Oh, crazy bastard.
Yeah,
Speaking of Lloyd and Lawrence Harvey,
we were also invited to Scream Fest, which is the same weekend as next week. So very cool that everyone invited to stuff. But what were you going to say? I'm sorry.
Very cool. I was saying that speaking of Lloyd Duff and then Lawrence Harvey, I have been trying to bring a little extra horror into my world. And I've been trying to listen to some of the horror podcasts I really love. And this one isn't a horror podcast because it's through the BBC website. Let me see where I got it here. Where are you at? There it is. So it's excellent. I just listened to it once on my journey home from Maine, this 5-hour ride. And I can't recommend it enough. It is 15 segments about a hotel. It's actually called The Hotel. It's different short segments by a woman, and they are all women characters. So each chapter is a character talking about their tie to the hotel or their tie to the land itself. They are creepy as fuck. They're like such great ghost stories. Like they really are what it means to be a ghost story. They're not all exactly the same. There's like a kind of Shining like feel. Like The Shining has different shit going on in it. So it has that, like there's a lot of different stories that come together in this place, and really excellent. So if you were to find it, I can link it here, but if you were to find it, you are going to do, let me make sure I can do it, BBC for the hotel. Yes, BBC for the hotel. And it's just the bee's knees. I love it. If you want to get into a creepy, spooky space and listen to some scary stories, I can't say enough good things about it. And I mention that now because I was looking into scary stories a few years ago, and Lawrence Harvey made the recommendation. I'm very thankful for that because it's wonderful. So anyone out there that's still with this audience, do any of you listen to scary podcasts or scary stories? Not necessarily like the big long books, but stories. Halloween time stories. Were you ever into Halloween time short stories? Like campfire tales?
I mean, just when we were kids, we would make them up and tell with each other. But no, it's not like something I've ever...
Do you remember?
I do think it would probably be something I would be into. What?
Do you remember any of those stories?
Vaguely, but not well enough to actually talk about. But we used to actually just do that. I remember in Paul Wilson's, I shouldn't say people's full names, I guess, but down in his basement we used to do it. I'm trying to look because sometimes Audible, actually, because I know they did last year, they'll have a bunch of free stuff for Halloween. Last year they had like Legend of Sleepy Hollow for free, the audio version. But I'm not seeing anything right now, actually.
Campfire Tales, Evil Santa Claus. Interesting. How do I not remember that part? Gunnar Hansen's in it.
So there's a very short sneak peek of the opening of Psycho Ape 2, if you would like to see.
Ooh, yes. Are you
It's
kidding me?
very
I didn't know this was
short.
happening. Let's see it.
Yeah, and it's recorded off Addison's laptop as opposed to the actual video, but it's like a video of his laptop.
Awesome. So this is the movie for everybody. If you weren't already aware, Psycho Ape 2 is something that Neil and I were a part of when, for the most of the time, they were filming in LA. And it was just an amazing time with such super cool people. It was really that gritty guerrilla filmmaking of trying to put things together and figuring it out like as you go. And it was just an exceptional time. So I'm very proud of my experience. And yeah, I'm very excited to being able to share this.
All right, here we go. Not too much to know what's happening, but it's a very short sneak
You
peek.
shared that because you're in it.
No, that's the only video out for the movie.
I saw a cute little clip of
Oh yeah, but it's like
Hannah
a 2-second
and
thing.
Bill.
Of, yeah, but it's only like 2 seconds. Like Psycho Ape.
It's very cute. But he rolls his eyes in a really comedic way.
Oh yeah, Bill's great.
Those are great. So
And Kansas is very cool too.
So that is, I'm very much excited for that.
By the way, I need to edit it. Todd, but I was too busy last night. Anyway, Todd had sent in a new review. I believe he sent in a review for Toxic Avenger, the new Toxic Avenger.
Oh, interesting.
He saw the premiere at Beyond Fest.
Thank you, Todd, for representing the BYH.
And I was trying to, but unfortunately, he's having a medical procedure on the day. But he was going to represent Without Your Head on the red carpet at Screamfest next week for the premiere. But it's a day he'll be at the hospital.
Wow, that's unfortunate. I wonder if we I know someone else who I could think of who might want to be there. They're not officially Without Your Head at this time, but I won't say it on air.
All right.
But they're really cool, and you like them.
Okay.
So maybe.
Yeah, Toxic Avenger, and he's wearing a shirt. He posted a picture. He's wearing a shirt for a movie called Bat Pussy.
Isn't that the one we heard about in the car?
That is. You're right. Yeah. Who said that on the
amazing.
show?
Addison was telling us about it.
Addison, that's right.
In the car when we were actually in LA.
That's right. Yeah. Well, apparently Todd is a big fan.
That's awesome. That's amazing.
So look, this is just a still photo of Todd wearing his shirt, and he also has the movie in the background. By the way, Sam really loved his review of Fucking Nuts, and in the review, Todd said he would like to have lunch with Sam, and Sam said she would definitely have cheesecake with Todd.
Aw, that's awesome. That's so crazy. There's another connection. It's back on the shelf too. Oh my God, we
Yeah.
were hearing about that ball.
Yeah,
Wow.
the ball's on the
So
shirt
he
too.
has it. So if we want to see it, we can appeal to Todd.
That's right.
Make sure you
The dinner movie Bat Pussy.
please bring me my Todd CDs.
Oh yeah. They're still in my
Yes, I don't have them yet.
Yeah, they're actually still in my luggage.
Okay, take them
I
out.
kept them there so they would not get lost or busted.
They won't get lost now. They're home.
I know. I'm just saying I didn't take them out of the luggage, so I knew where they would be.
I know we have so much to talk about, but now I've taken the plastic off of this box of tarot cards.
Let's get to them. Show them up.
All right.
Do it up. So, real quick, while you're getting them there, I just did want to say I found that there is a lot of interviews that are not on YouTube from Classic Without Your Head. So I've been posting some throughout October. I thought would be fun. And so up there now are 3 interviews that were previously only on iTunes, and that is a Linnea Quigley interview where she adopts Troy and I as her siblings, and that was from I don't know, a few years ago, probably long, I think. Also, Daryl Ferrucci, who played the crate monster Fluffy in Creepshow. Why I do not have these on YouTube, I have no idea, but now they're there. And also Jamie Bernadette, Maria Olsen, and Camille Keaton all on the show together talking about I Spit on Your Grave, Deja Vu, the direct sequel to the original. All right.
This book is really very thorough. It's a good sized book.
Oh yeah, that's how the other one was too.
And it's very like you can't really see it because of the lighting, but it's quite.
Yeah, they'll tell you the meaning of all the stuff.
It's really nice. The major arcana are not the same, and so I'm not sure if they are direct symbolic counterparts to the original ones or not. And then minor arcana, same. The only thing that's the same, they've got books, torches, beakers, and pentacles, which I really like all the titles they have for things. I'm just curious if they're sticking to the Doan format.
Pepe says, don't accidentally raise some demons.
I'll try not to.
Raising the demons.
Ooh, my card is death. Where's Neil Jones?
I'm right here. I just thought if you could see the cards better.
I just looked up and I'm like, where's Neil? What's just happened?
I thought people could see the cards better.
Oh, well, I didn't know that was happening. So
I don't know.
Down. All right, so let's take a peek here.
Oh, by the way, there's also
Where am I?
There's also a Ralph's pin on this.
Sweet. That is sweet. There it is. Okay, so I have the super duper. Oh, I just lost my place. Shit. They don't have numbers on anything. Oh, there they do. Okay.
Paul Bearer Press, you can get this Bloodsucking Freak set.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Good folks at the first Mad Monster that you and I were at together. They were right next to us in the booth.
Oh.
It's a cool married couple selling shirts and stuff.
I feel like I remember that.
Yeah. They make very cool shirts. A lot of cool long sleeve shirts with both logos on the front and the back and down the sleeves, which I like. They make a Maniac one, which I do not have, which I'm very surprised I don't have a Maniac shirt because it's one of my favorite movies.
So this is major arcana of the Lovecraft tarot deck. This tarot deck is really old. I got this with a friend in junior high school at a little shop in a little town that had like crystal stuff, and we're like, oh, all curious about the things. So this is very, very old. And to see, I don't know if anybody cares, if they're comparable. Oh, that's the images on these cards are really, they're strange. They're like there's like some grim aspect to them. They're very dreamlike, and in dreamlike I mean like the feeling if you're in a dream and you feel like there's this total lack of attachment and there's like no actual sense of security. Everything seems very isolated and surreal. So these are very, very standard cards. This is like what they're all based on. So this is the Fool from like a legit tarot deck. Sorry, you can't, it's not doing a great job. But you can see the little dude. He's looking up. He's in danger. Wolfie man. So that's the Fool. The Fool is a 0 because it's like when you're a new being and you're setting out into the world. Like all of us do. We set off into whatever we're going to do. We don't know any better, so you're the Fool. Now, this one, the Fool is depicted as like an explorer adult, right? And so this is that same idea of you are new in the world. So this being like some kind of academic person, like you grow to a point where you have the freedom to go out into investigating whatever you want. Like we can all choose to investigate whatever we want if we have the resources. And where does that lead you? Well, if you're not paying attention, caught up in whatever it is, then you can get fucked and really be in bad places. So that is their Fool. So far those are pretty comparable. But then I noticed that there are very, very different things. So I'm not sure if they just go off the rails or not. So like there's the Magician being the second major arcana. So that's like all of these kind of represent phases in a human life in different kinds of archetypes. This is where like a lot of stories kind of are founded, like Star Wars or any big story. You'll recognize the themes. Like there's that beginning and your youth and your innocence, and then your continued innocence, and then you start to maybe wise up. And the Magician is starting to like figure it out and know how to manipulate the world and just have that increase in wisdom. This one, manipulation. So I don't understand. And so I'm really curious. So this is their equivalent card. And it's H.P. Lovecraft being a creep. So I'm going to look this one up. And I don't have to do this for the whole thing, but for those interested, let's see. So we've got manipulation. It appears that H.P. Lovecraft himself is the arch manipulator here. The symbols of the minor arcana are around him as he types, unseeing on his typewriter. Are you a manipulator or a manipulated? Do you know what is real and what is not? Are you afraid of your own power or the power of others to manipulate you? Do you understand the sources of your information? So the idea of something being upright. So if you draw a card and the person doing the reading, the card is upright like this, that is upright. When it's like this, it's reversed. And depending on who is doing the reading and what the deck is, this is like, it changes the meaning, right? So maybe you'll have a really good card face this way and it'll be good. And then if it's like this, it's like, oh, maybe not so good. And the same thing could happen. There's cards that are traditionally not good. So if those are reversed, it could be a little bit better. That's like very, very generic way to describe it. So I'm thinking that these cards may be loosely connected. Like death is still death, and I think the Lovers might be desire. So like the desire card, I can't remember all the numbers, but let's see here. Lovers are 6. No, that's no, totally different. Totally different. So for people that use this stuff, you probably would already know what I'm going to say, because I'm not like exactly a master of tarot. It's just like I said, I had this in junior high, so it's something I have some familiarity with, but I wouldn't be able to give like a off the top of my head reading. I just don't know the decks that well, even the traditional one. But whatever kind of, if you ever pick up a deck, really the key, in my opinion, is for you to read the guide, study the card, try to look at like, it helps to be a very visual person. Like if you're looking at it and you're getting like the vibe out of it, the idea of your brain is aware of everything all the time. It's a supercomputer that knows everything that's going on. So could you non-spiritually, totally non-spiritually, could you, your brain, shuffle this and be aware of where the cards are? Maybe. I don't know. For the very, very worst case scenario, you can do all of this stuff. You could do a spread and do whatever it is you want to do. I think that any of this is totally fine. You're going to do, but using tarot cards and stuff like that, I'm not a person that's religious and thinks I'm going to burn in hell for doing something like this. And I think that, to me, the key with anything is balance. So you can be into this and be interested and use it and kind of work with it as like an inspiration for thoughts and to try to be more thoughtful about whatever it is. But if it's dictating your life, not as great. Not as great. This is like a second opinion, not a first opinion. Or maybe even a third opinion. Not a first opinion. Adjunct opinion.
Mm-hmm. That's for me, I would say just something to have fun with. But, you know.
But that's the thing. People can find meaning in anything. So there doesn't have to be anything supernatural about it. Just psychologically. People will gravitate towards particular characters and stories and books because there's something about that character that is more than just cool or whatever. There's something that resonates in the person. And so there are things in this that people can resonate with. And so you get out of it what you put in it. If you look at something and what you see is different than me, well, does that have meaning to you? And then how do you use that meaning to be helpful in your life? It doesn't have to do anything. People can be spiritual and can believe in it spiritually, or you could be a straight up logic atheist and it can still work. If you follow me. I don't know if you do, but that's okay. So yeah, interesting cards. The illustrations are great. So even if you just had them to collect them and look at cool illustrations, like let's see, I've got, and it looks like they are all drawn directly from Lovecraft tales. Yeah, I wish I could name all of them off the top of my head, but I definitely like. This is got to be The Mountains of Madness, and I don't remember that one. Oh my god, I feel so bad. The giant mat one. It looks like there's a few in The Mountains of Madness, but he did make like so many stories. I'm so bad with names, but I recognize that one. I recognize that. Yeah, it's really cool. I like them. Oh man, that's a great picture. Just the idea of this, of being a person who has so many swords in a bag and is trying to carry them. Sorry again for the blur.
Oh yeah, that was very cool.
Very symbolic kind of, I think, like you could see how much pain she's in.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so for this, I think of the idea of someone is so tied down by all of their need to for defense, like people who are very not defensive, but people who are aggressive too, like people who have to use anger or rage or protectiveness to kind of like feel like they have to survive. And yet when you carry all that stuff around with you, it really weighs you down to the point where you might like totally lose your way and that light's going to go out. There's a lot of people that lose themselves completely, being held up by the past. full of rage and hanging on to all this crap that doesn't actually help them. Just saying.
So if that was upside down, would that mean the weight would be falling out?
You know what? If I had this and it's in a context, so it's not. It can be one on its own and be like, let's pull a random card and see what to think. I don't know. So if I just pulled this as a single card, I think I would really have to have a context. Well, how about this, Neil? All right. You haven't seen any of these cards. I'm seeing enough of them. All right. So I do like that. I feel like the person that made this, even if they didn't do direct translations, were very thoughtful about the images they chose. I feel like they were very thoughtful. So I'm going to just do this until you tell me to stop, or I can even do like one of these.
Stop.
Stop. Well,
Yeah, I got you. Stop.
All right. So take this card, and let's see. So I will look it up just because we're doing it anyways. So let's see what it says in here. 5 of Torches. Here's your card. What are they looking at?
Damn, looks like they're gonna
Pretty
burn me
intense,
alive here.
Dang. There's something going on in the middle. I think there's some invisible creature in the middle that they're standing around, because you can kind of see feet prints in there. Not very easily, but...
They're driving me out of town like in the old Universal Monster movies with the torches.
Oh, and someone's being yerked up into the air by their shirt. There's glowing eyes in the distance. Maybe hang on. I think I can fix the focus thing. Give me a second. I turn off my autofocus so it isn't constantly like... All right, let's see now. Try to get Neil Jones. Get another whirl. Any better?
Yeah. Yeah, looks good right there.
Yeah. See the person in the top corner getting...
Yeah, he's like flying in the air.
He's getting jerked up by his shirt.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot going on in this. Not a good scene, man. Not a good scene. Oh, who
Makes
knows?
me think of the Thing for some reason. Even though the Thing's not invisible. But...
So it was 5 of Torches. Which opponent that is a sword. 5 of Torches. Upright. I feel confident it was upright. To fight an invisible monster, you need to join forces. Working alone will get you nowhere. You need to work together. So here's the magic. To my mind, the magic of this is you can hear that, think about, like you're just automatically you could just like, fuck that, it means nothing. Or you could think about how could that apply in your life? Is it something that you could apply in your life? Can you, even if you're just taking things out of the ether and fitting them into this stuff, that's all that matters, is what you make of it. If you make something of that and you can use it in a productive way, do you feel what I mean?
Yeah, like you're asking for. To me, I would be like you can't go it alone. Ask for help against. And if it's invisible monster, maybe it's not something. It's maybe something more. Not necessarily in your mind, but just to me, it's more like you're asking for help You can't do it alone.
Yes. So that's that one. The idea of, and so you would think about, all right. So is there something I'm doing in my life right now where maybe I'm choosing to not ask for help? Maybe there's offers to be a team that I might not feel comfortable accepting for some reason, and having that digging into yourself, like, how does this apply to me? Not just how does it broadly apply to everybody, but how does it apply to me? So if I was looking at that, right, I'd be like, let's see. I'll pull one for myself. Let's find out. 1. All right. Shoot. 8 of Torches. Oh, it's a cool car. Vroom. I'm not unblurring that. I'll just 8 of Torches is run toward your fears. That's scary. Speedy action will be successful. Move faster than. Whoa. See, to me, all right. So run toward your fears. Speedy action.
Go after that shark.
Move faster than your competition. So right now at work, Neil has heard my work is hell and it's getting worse. It's just crazy. It's a madhouse. People are just resigning on the spot. It's not good. And I've been very, for basically the entire year, very back and forth if I was leaving, am I going, am I staying, am I tolerating, am I not? But because so many people have been leaving recently, I'm worried, before I read this, worried that, well, if I wait too long, the jobs that I want might be gone because other people will have gone to those companies. So if I wait longer to be in this shitty place, so to me, that's it. If I run towards my fear, and my fear is that if I leave my company, then somehow something's going to be fucked up. Like I'll have made a mistake. I'm afraid of that being a mistake and not being able to return back. Speedy action will be successful. So maybe I really have to whip it along and just do it. And that's how I can interpret that and make sense of my life. Because that actually is probably what is in my best interest, is to do that thing. Does that mean I definitely have to make my choice based off of a card? No, I do not. But I can think about this and question, maybe this is something to put a new perspective on things, a perspective that maybe I wouldn't have considered, or put something in my face maybe no one else would say. You follow me, Neil Jones?
Of course, yes.
Right. There you are, audience. Are people saying anything? I thought I saw something about reading. The scariest book I've ever read.
Well, The Stand, but only because that when I was reading it, it was right at the beginning of the pandemic before we knew what was going on. So I actually stopped reading it for a little while. But I don't really think it's necessarily the scariest book I've ever read. That's a weird thing for me because I don't want to be the tough guy, but like I don't really get scared watching movies or reading books. But I would say the best horror book I've ever read is probably The Exorcist. It's I think it might be the greatest horror novel.
Mm-hmm. For
a lot of great teen novels.
Oh, I have such a terrible memory, and it's awful because I used to read. I actually started to read Christine on my trip because Christine was at that house, and it was wonderful. It reminded me I loved to read. I read like crazy when I was a child. So I know there are definitely books that scared me, but I have to say, and I don't know if people will count it, that the Junji Ito manga cartoons are really fucking scary, but they're visual, like it's a comic, but
right.
I've just bought some. Well, now it's been a long time. Well, you know what? I'll just, instead of making things fall, I'll get something off the computer.
Steve says Christine is his all-time favorite.
I am looking forward to I almost stole it, and I didn't. I'm very proud of myself. I was so ready to steal it. I didn't.
Just like you stole the pumpkin.
What are you trying to say, Neil?
Hmm?
What are you trying to say?
You're a thief.
Shh.
Thiefing.
Not a big thief.
Maybe...
Only thief of not like I didn't thieve that.
Not like grand theft or something.
No. I don't know if this one scares me. Where's the one that's the woman across the woman cross. It'll know which one I'm talking about. Ugh!
Misery is a pretty scary book, honestly.
Okay.
Because a lot of it could be more like, could happen.
I don't need to think. My imagination is so overactive, anything can happen. It's just, I could be the first. I'll just disappear and everybody will think it was a heart attack, but really it was the monster. I can just explain everything. All right, I'm going to send you the before picture, and then I'll send you the next picture. It's not really the next picture, but it makes sense for me sharing about it. So let me know when you've got it.
We're getting it.
Okay. I love these. You might actually like.
What?
You might like these. I mean, you do have to actually look at it and not just walk. I mean, you could walk. I used to walk and read.
It's like walking in
books.
traffic.
You're walking on a sidewalk, man. All right, so the story.
There's barely any sidewalks in my town.
I don't know. You know where the edge of the road is? So in this story, family.
No, around where I am, I there's winding roads with just like right up against trees. Like it would not be a good place to be walking around. No street lights, no sidewalks.
That's a great song. So in this story, this family moves. Oh, that looks awful. Family moves into a new home, and in Japan, in the metropolitan areas, the houses are very, very close because there's a lot of people there. So they move in, and this kid takes the upstairs room, which he thinks is a good room, but then at night he's like, here's this like, and then there's a voice that's like, little boy, little boy, little boy. And it's like trying to entice him to like just even talk to her or anything. Like, it's very, very weird. So he eventually sees this person right here, right? Mm-hmm. So then ends up seeing a very different person.
The woman almost matches like you size-wise and stuff on the picture. It's kind of weird.
She's way classier than me. But I'm not as monstrous as she is. Similar, but not quite. So it's just, and these are just, do you see it? Or are you being the face on the side?
See what?
I sent you the picture.
Oh, there's another picture? Hold on. Oh, wow, this one's really creepy.
That's what I'm saying. So he hears that for a few nights, and then he looks out the window and sees this person.
And not me. Just hold on. This is a slow process to add these photos.
Okay. Let me see if I can. You'll get it. You'll get it. Yeah, look at that thing. Oh my God. Oh my God. And so I scrolled in, and so she's talking across the way to him saying, how do you like your new home, dear boy? Are you well this night, dear boy? And she's like trying to say, well, she's going to come get him. And she's got this really long stick that she reaches across. And yeah, oh my God, it's terrible. He knocks it away. He's scared. Oh my God. This is such a great story.
Paul Cornelius says, yeah, it's a really good book, and he loves the movie Christine as well.
Which one is a good book?
Christine.
Oh.
We were going to go see Christine the other week when they re-released it. But
they were cheap fuckers and wouldn't let us see it with our paid subscriptions to AMC. Dicks. Fuck that. Yeah. I'll watch it at home.
Yeah. House of a Thousand Corpses is out next week. Fathom events for people. And they're doing and then I saw they're re-releasing Terrifier 2, and they're also going to drop the very first trailer for Terrifier 3.
Oh.
Which I believe they made in secret.
In secret?
Yeah, well, they kept saying they were going to make it, but apparently they've made it. So.
Oh. Huh.
Have you ever listened to audiobooks where they're cassette tape? Yeah, I actually have some. And for a little while, I had bought a cassette player, but then I found out it's way easier to get them online.
What, the books?
Yeah, audiobooks. I listened to them on Audible and off the public library. I'm currently reading Billy Summers, which is a Stephen King book. It's not a horror book. And then I've had also, he has a new one after that too, because the man writes a bazillion books. Holly, which that one just came out, so I'm going to read that one next.
What is it? Holly?
Holly.
Holly.
Like the name Holly.
Holly, like the plant?
Yeah, but I don't know which way it is, but.
The plant of holly. So what else is going on in this horror world, this great horror world of ours?
So we got Halloween coming up. We've got a new Pet Cemetery coming out, which is a prequel. Hope
Is
it's
there
better
any
than the last
visuals
one.
on that yet? Do we have
What?
visuals for that? Is there anything to see? Or they're just it's just talk?
I mean, I don't know if it's coming to the theaters or I think it's coming to Hulu. It's called Bloodline. I feel like Bloodlines is like used
So
in every
overused.
franchise.
Yep.
There's Hellraiser Bloodlines. There's I think there's a Leprechaun. I don't know. It seems like it's been used in every franchise.
Yes, I think you're right.
It's just like the go-to word for it. Bloodlines. Henry Thomas is in it from E.T.
Oh.
David Duchovny. Let's see. Pet Cemetery Bloodlines. There's seems like they're going more into the Native American stuff in the film. There's a lot of like Native American imagery.
Oh, there's a great did I already tell you about shit, what's it called? Has it's a show about natives in Canada, and there's missing kids, and they're missing native kids, and it's like a big epidemic of native kids going missing, and the police basically not caring. And this one guy is he works for the police, and he ends up being at a protest and has an interaction with one of the families and tries to help them and promises them that he'd help them find their daughter. And he ends up getting pulled into this community, and it's very mysterious and excellent. And I'm trying to find it because I do think you would really like it. It's serious. It's dark. It's got a little bit of maybe supernatural, maybe not.
So here's the poster.
Hang on a second. You are away.
Streaming October 6th.
Shit, where'd you go? No, where's...
It's weird, like...
I lost you.
What the hell are you doing?
I gotta pull you into your own window. That was the problem. You were just in with a whole bunch of other tabs.
Here's the original poster itself.
Interesting. Interesting.
You got like a dog head on a stick.
But it's like a mask. It's not like a real dog head.
Yeah, the book has, talks about the Wendigo a little bit. So
Yeah, I think this is really interesting to see because the climate for basically taking advantage of other cultures for your own purposes of entertaining others, unless you're actually connected with that culture, you become kind of like frowned on. So I'm wondering how in the world they're going to like dodge that, to be honest, because
we loved Antlers. I thought that was the best horror movie that year. I think it was definitely the best Wendigo movie I've ever seen too. And but I did see some backlash on that it didn't have enough Native American characters in it.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I'll go with that. I mean, it is important, and there is like very, 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 very little Native American representation in film. It's like the worst, considering most film is made in America.
Bloodline's the bloodline. Yeah.
What are you talking about, Bloodlines over there, boy?
I want to see how many movie sequels use Bloodline.
Jeez. IMDb Bloodline.
There was a Tremors Bloodlines, Hellraiser Bloodlines. There's got to be more than that, though. It just seems like I've seen that name so many times.
Which name?
Bloodlines.
Oh. Torches. What else going on in the world, Neil?
I don't know. Lots of stuff. Lots of movies coming out. There's some reviews that'll be coming up. Todd Yeager's review of he's got a review. I've got to edit it. It'll be posted for Toxic Avenger. Then he's doing Three Little Mice. And I believe Diablo Joe will be reviewing My Little Lamb. So those kind of came out at the same time. I think different people made them. There's another Diablo Joe 1-2 I have to post. I got them about the same time. I just didn't have time yesterday to post them. So both those will come up. So subscribe on YouTube or iTunes, or not so much iTunes really. I mean, you can if you want, but the two where you get the video is YouTube and Spotify. Our friend Justin Bernard Head, he's got his web series Dark Signals. The first 2 episodes are out, and then in 3 days, episode 3 will be out. With
and what's his project?
Treacherous
What's the
Tristan.
project about?
It's a short web series.
With a particular.
I think each one's its own like a story, like a Twilight Zone kind of deal.
Got it.
Season 1. Apparently, I see. Day of the Cannibal is out now. Episode 2, More Than Capable, and episode 3 premieres the 10th. And that is Jennifer's Sin, and that's the one with Trista Robinson.
Okay.
So we will get Justin on here in the near future.
Yes.
Talk about these.
Yeah,
He premiered the whole series in the theater too last week. Which is
that's
cool.
amazing. Good for him.
Yeah, I wish we would have known. We would have plugged it for him.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I
haven't had much sleep the last few days, so I'm getting very sleepy.
Me as well.
Prey,
I'm sorry to the world for being kind of dudley.
Prey is coming out. They have a special Blu-ray of Prey, which that was the prequel, Predators prequel, which took place. Speaking of Native Americans, actually that was a very heavy Native American cast, Prey, and that was when they put on Hulu, and then people thought they really made a mistake because people really loved it, and they probably should have put it out theatrically. So it's got a special edition Blu-ray. The trailer is on Without Your Head right now. It's got a
Is
lot of
it?
views, actually.
Wow.
They sent us the trailer
Julio.
to play, so.
So now what, man? We're gonna wrap up and actually
Yeah,
see.
we'll probably be back next week, I guess. Because we're gonna drive out
Oh
Friday.
wait,
So we,
I have to double check that because I am not sure if that is true.
all right.
It's true.
All right.
We're gonna meet. It's something with a thing that happens the day before.
All right. So we'll be
Alright.
back next week. Probably talk. We'll probably have someone on from the festival.
Mm-hmm.
I'll work on that. I would try to. It would be cool to have the people from Brooklyn Horror Film Festival on. If not, we'll talk to them at the festival.
Give time, man. They're gonna be
Yeah.
running around, running
That's
around.
true.
So,
They might not even have time next week because that's actually when the show's. Actually, they probably won't because the festival starts Thursday at 7. So that's probably not going to happen. But
Yeah.
maybe we'll have a filmmaker on from that weekend or something.
Yes. Whoever we get, we'll share them with you here.
Yeah. So go and join the group, facebook.com/group/withoutyourheadhorror.
It's gotta be the easiest way to do that. One cheese.
Oh yeah.
Cheesecake.
Yeah, exactly. Pray
Legit,
you can
I
actually.
do.
What?
Legit, I really do.
Oh, oddly enough, yesterday was my mom's birthday.
Happy birthday, Brenda.
Thank you. And I bought her a cheesecake. It's a Junior's cheesecake, which is like the epitome of cheesecakes.
Is it?
And yeah, they say it's like the best. And I had never seen them sold anywhere locally before. And I got the Celebration cheesecake, it's like a birthday cake cheesecake. And I have to say, the hype is real. It's pretty amazing.
Interesting. I have to get someone a cheesecake, so.
Pretty good. And so when I cut into it, I actually thought, oh, this is like a cake and cheesecake. But the cheesecake part, they made to look like actual cake. So it's like cake flavored cheese. I don't know. It's pretty amazing.
It was great.
Yeah, it's
Junior's
great. It's not
cheesecake.
cheap, but it's very good. Way cheaper locally than it is. I've seen them where you can send for them. And that's a lot more money. So.
Can I send for it?
Yeah,
That's
you
my-
can send for one. The Junior's
Yeah.
cheesecake.
Junior's cheesecake. I'm gonna have to take a peek.
They're good. And so I cheated and had a slice, and I'll probably have another slice today.
What if she's just gonna eat it by herself? That'd be pretty weird. She's like, no, Neil.
I
you
don't.
got
No, I don't normally eat the sweet stuff. Is what I'm saying. So I cheated.
Oh.
Not that she didn't want me to have
Her
one.
birthday.
Yeah.
My cards are going away.
Yeah, it looks like a cake. It's very weird. Like the inside looks like cake, but it's cheesecake.
Is there a picture?
Yeah, I'll save a picture because their regular cheesecake looks just straight up like cheesecake, but here's what the Celebration one looks like. All right, I can just share here. This will probably be easier. But yeah, see over here.
Ooh.
It looks. You cut it into. I thought it was cake, but the part that looks like cake is actually cheesecake.
So what's the stuff on the top of the bottom? Real cake?
It does. It actually does have like not really frosting, but it's like it is a little different than the. But this part here looks like cake. That's actually the cheese part.
So all of that is cheesecake. There's no cake in it.
No.
Cake free. 100% cake free.
Yeah. If there is, it might be a very little here. Maybe on the. I think maybe instead of the crust, it's like a heart. It's like a cake thing. But this here in the middle is completely cheese. But it's flavored. I don't know. It's not like any cheesecake I've had. And here's their regular cheesecake, which looks like a normal cheesecake. I'm sure it's great, but I thought the Celebration one was fitting for
It's pretty nice.
for her birthday.
Yes, absolutely.
It was.
And
Yeah, it's a wonderful. It's great. They're not
I'm glad you
paying
brought
us.
that up.
Yeah.
I'm glad I brought it up. I need to get a cheesecake.
Yeah.
Have it sent. Well, Nasty Neil.
Well,
What's your
Annabelle
new
Lecter.
name going to be?
Oh, I can't change it now. It's too late to change
No,
it.
it's not.
He
Never
said
too
nicety. He suggested nicety, Neil, but I was like that.
No, not at all.
I do like alliteration, but that one
Yeah.
doesn't work. So yeah, a lot of people inviting us to festivals. This is great. Wish we could do them all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Amazing.
All right.
Very
Oh,
good.
new music of the month, Motel Transylvania.
Yeah.
They have a new CD that comes out this week, and we're
Are
going
they
to be
coming on
playing a
the show?
tune from that. Yeah, we have to figure out because they're in Italy, so that's a big time difference.
Mm-hmm.
But they were all about it, and I've known them for a while. I've been friends with Toxie Ghoul, who is, and we've played. I played tracks of theirs on like the old mixtapes, but they've
Mhm.
never been music of the month. So this is
Cool. Excellent.
and it worked out because they have the new CD out and would like people to check that out.
Very, very good. So Neil's going to play some of that, so you guys get a sample of what Motel Transylvania music is,
Right.
and yeah, then you could seek it out on the socials.
Exactly.
Definitely is on YouTube. So
Yeah, they've got some videos up there, so check them out. They're on Facebook, Instagram. At the very least, give them a like, and if you dig it, go and check out the tunes.
all right.
All right. Well, you'll be back. Thanks, everybody. It's not working here.